press the button. We're live now.
Well, that was a mistake.
That probably was a mistake. That probably was. Let me get my
you pressed the
alerts in.
button?
Yeah, the
Shouldn't
button's
have
been
done
pressed.
Oh, okay,
All right.
okay.
Just we're live now.
Did you
Supposedly.
tweet yourself out? Or
I'm
anything?
doing it. All right.
Are you gonna cut this part out?
No.
Okay.
Oh, good. There's echo. That's fantastic. There we go. Got it.
Yeah.
It's good now. We're professionals. Okay, we got this. It's the most professional fucking thing you have ever seen in your life. Welcome to the DoDCast. This is a couple of guys hang out, talk about some shit, and pretend that's content. That's pretty fucking cool, if you ask me. We've got Kaz. Go ahead and say something. Or don't. It's fine. Doesn't matter. None of this matters. Fucking
Hello, I'm Kaz.
Kaz, what kind of content do you make?
I don't.
That's sick, dude.
That's
I'm
good.
glad I invited you here.
I just kind of hang out here.
That's cool. That's all good.
That's
Hey, Mario.
disgusting.
How you doing? We got Mariosack.
That's me.
That's you. What kind of content do you make?
I'm an artist. I
Oh.
do commissions and stuff. I sometimes stream if I'm in the mood. Should the mood strike me?
Oh, is that what I was supposed to say? I was supposed to say I stream.
Yeah, you're supposed to do
Yeah,
that.
you
Oh,
fucking
my bad.
idiot.
supposed to fucking figure it out. All right. Now, we've been on Twitch for a long time. I figured we could handle this, but I guess we can't fucking handle this.
No.
But that's okay. That's all right. I wrote out a list of things. But before we get into the list of things that are relevant, because we're going to segue into a bunch of non-relevant crap, let's talk about quick, because this might end up on YouTube, what this is. It's basically just a casual podcast hangout thing where we discuss current topics or topics that we want to talk about. There's nothing scripted here, obviously, and I have a list that I told them to do it, but they didn't, because that's how casual we are at this moment in time.
Casual or lazy?
One of those, definitely. It's either one or the other. So
Might be both.
it could be. We've got.
Or like, think of us as your neglected.
Shut the
father.
fuck up! Let me do my intro, you son of a bitch. God damn. Anyway, so there's a list of things that will try to keep us on topic, but again, it's not scripted, so it could end up any way. Ooh, wacky fun, isn't that great? Wacky and wild. We're gonna have that going on. The plan is that we might interact with chat if chat brings up something good or has a question about one of our many non-relevant opinions. We'll try to read it out in case this ends up on YouTube or not. But you're basically
Yeah,
just
I got an eye on it.
You got an eye. I got an eye on what's going on. So. But yeah, we've got KazGator and Mariosack to chill out with, and they're good
Yeah.
people. They were really shit at introducing themselves, so I'm just gonna do it for them.
Yeah,
Huh?
Mario paid a bunch of money to be friends with people, and
that's true.
it's sad, so we let him come here. Kaz is just there. We can't get rid of him, so we got that going on.
No.
He's just this disgusting thing. He knows a lot about Monster Hunter. I don't think he's ever gotten laid, but
You'd be surprised.
I might be. Monster Hunter's a pretty big crowd. Very influential community. Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, it's just, we got our first caller. We got Row FGC here,
Oh.
wondering why we have a mannequin mask. That's supposed to be
That's-
Mario, but
Yeah, that's me.
No, that's what
represents-
Mario. That's what he looks like.
yeah, we got
That's
that.
actually what I look
You can
like
see
in real
the
life.
hairline goes all the way back
It's
to like
impressive.
Yeah.
halfway across his head.
If anyone knows anything about me, it's that I lack hair.
Yeah. You
I have
no-
gangrene.
Money can't buy
Yeah.
you that.
Gangrene? Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg's
You have
here,
to
too.
earn that.
Oh yeah, Whoopi Goldberg's here too, but she's in order for social distancing, she's not going to talk, or she'll.
Well, she's kind of sick. She's got whooping
Yeah,
cough.
she does. That's what we jumped right on that in like 2 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
Good for us.
Well, fuck, that was all our material. What do we
That's
do now?
yeah, all right. Thanks for coming. I hope everybody had a good time. These were good topics. This was I feel like it was informative and reasonable.
Yeah, I feel like we learned a lot about each other and a little something about friendship.
Educated opinions for sure. All right, so current events. Let's start getting on to something here.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to talk
Cyberpunk.
about the elephant in the room? Yeah.
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah,
Oh.
definitely. Don't do that.
Is she threatening you? Did she want to get talked about?
She might have.
She got a knife. She's got a fucking knife back there.
Does she have a knife back there? Well, we shaded that out, so she could have had anything.
Yeah.
She could have had.
think-
God, it dawns on me. I don't know anything about The View except that Whoopi Goldberg is on it.
That's the most important part.
Yeah,
that's the only part you need to know about.
That is like the only thing I know about that. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
All
But
right.
no, we got Cyberpunk.
How about we talk about our own opinions on Cyberpunk right now?
We could do that. I mean, obviously,
Well, I haven't played it, but I think it's terrible.
there's that. It's a great informed opinion.
There's a lot of people with that opinion. There's
Educated,
quite a lot of people.
educated and informed. That's a good one. I like that.
Educated, informed. I saw it once. I've heard about it in murmurs, and quite frankly, I feel nothing but disdain in my heart. In my heart of hearts, I know that Kingdom Hearts is negative emotions for Cyberpunk.
You were definitely on Reddit.
Yeah,
That's a
Talking about
very,
Kingdom Hearts. What are you talking about?
that's a definite Reddit opinion for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. All right, let's start with Kaz because I feel like Kaz knew about Cyberpunk even before I did.
Yeah, I heard about Cyberpunk before it got announced as like the big game from CD Projekt Red a few years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God damn!
God
I haven't played the game, but I got eyes. And those videos on like Twitter and YouTube, they don't fucking lie. That game has some issues.
It's got some issues. I would start off by saying I guess the date is important for this topic in case anybody because nobody reads descriptions, nobody reads into the title, and they definitely don't look at when dates or videos are posted. So if anybody on YouTube in the future is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I've been playing it. It's been pretty fucking good. This is 2020.
This
December.
is 6 days after release.
Yeah, this is 6 days after release. That's very important that you understand that our impressions are the first impressions of everyone. So that's one of those things you gotta get into because there's been no major patch that's fixed anything. 2 days ago, Sony decided to refund everybody regardless of playtime, which I found that was shocking. That was shocking to me because Sony's normally pretty stingent about that sort of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
That was really impressive that they decided to do that.
And they just removed it from the Play Store entirely.
Yeah, and that says a lot because most of what, and I'm not an expert on this, but most of what their policy reflects is it's got to be faulty. The product has to be faulty.
Well, you've seen what it looks like on a PS4 or
Yeah.
last gen Xbox, right?
Yeah,
Of course it's a faulty product. They shouldn't sell that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't imagine that would be a hard sell to convince somebody that it's a faulty game. And and there are people who they're playing it on high end PCs and they're getting it to work when it needs to work and they're enjoying it, and that's a good thing that's happening. Unfortunately, anybody who bought it on console, I can't even imagine.
Oh, absolutely not.
I can't even imagine. I mean, you get to games like, yeah, No Man's Sky had its problems. It's many problems, and I'm sure I'm biased now that I've gone and I've enjoyed that game in its later life. So it makes me kind of forget how bad something is. Kind of like how, Fallout New Vegas released in a horrific state, and everyone forgot about that because once they fixed it, it was the best game ever. And everybody wants everything to be like New Vegas, and I'm not confusing that with 76. That when that game released, it was terrible. So I might be biased by No Man's Sky. I might be biased a little bit about Fallout 76 because I had friends who played that and enjoyed themselves for what it was, but they could be played at release. For all their faults, they could be played, and it seems like that's not the case with people who own 76. Techie has 76. Or sorry, not 7. Already doing this. Cyberpunk. Techie has Cyberpunk. And it has the newest patch that came out, it went from his game freezing to now just making his whole computer crash.
Man, not even crash on startup, the whole thing.
The whole thing goes.
That's funny.
The whole thing. It was a shock to me when he told me that. I mean, it got worse. The patch made the crashes worse, and I I cannot imagine the disappointment people have who have really been excited for that game. I mean, we know
Well,
them.
Mhm.
Well, that's part of the problem because the game was first announced as like beginning development, not even like just as like a concept, like 7 years ago. Could you imagine waiting for 7 years for this shit and then getting kicked in the nutsack as hard as humanly possible?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, I can't imagine feeling that.
Oh yeah.
I knew it would be bad from the start because you can't make a game around cyberpunk, the concept, unless it's like one of those arcadey hack and slash games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
cannot make an RPG reasonably out of the cyberpunk.
Oh, didn't one of those already? Didn't I haven't heard much about it. Maybe you guys have. And if you haven't, we could just move on. But there's some game. What's it? Death Runner, something like that.
Death Runner.
It's whatever. It's some katana guy running through like a virtual escape that looks a lot like cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it has to be that style of game to work with the cyberpunk thing.
Yeah. I don't know if that's any good or not. I mean, I haven't heard. Oh my god,
I'm
it bricked
pretty-
my computer. I haven't heard that.
I'm pretty sure that's like an actually good game that's polished
Yeah, I don't know what it's.
And-
Death Runner or
and
something like that.
Polish.
And
Polish?
and Polish. I mean, that kind of comes to my other complaint about cyberpunk. As you said before, that is such a hard aesthetic to hit because it's not just the look. You have to get the concept right. You have to get the mechanics that make sense for it, and you have to understand that the concept is bigger than just the aesthetic. How do people live? How do people go to work? What kind of jobs do they have? What is
What
the universe?
ideals?
Oh yeah.
What ideals the aesthetic was created in with the first place?
Right, and it's
Yeah.
it's a concept based on transhumanism, and to me, and I guess some people are into this, some people are not, but to me, transhumanism and cyborgs gets pretty boring if it's just a bunch of plastic mannequin people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they look like that to me. They look like, this person, and there were animes that did that too. Not that I'm an expert on those, but I remember even Ghost in the Shell was like, that's just a plastic person. Why would you? And I know I'm biased, but why would you purposely put your brain into just something that looks human? You could go 10 times beyond that and make the perfect fucking whatever, But no, it's got to be plastic mannequin people like every single time.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
It's very blue human alien concept.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
When you see that, when you fucking
Oh man.
yeah,
Come on,
okay,
Divide.
yeah, you can. I see it. No, when you
Welcome
fucking
Divide, who comes.
when you
New Divide
see
in the chat. Oh.
those kind of like sci-fi universes, and you can understand when it comes from something like Star Trek because of the budget. I get that. That makes sense why it looks that way. But when you make a digital version of an alien that looks boring, that's on you.
That's just
Nah.
creatively bankrupt.
Yeah, that's on you. And in the case of Blue Alien, like in fucking Mass Effect, it's just, oh yeah, they're sexy, and also they're sexy because their brain can make you think that they're sexy. Haha, it's not fun. Like, just so
I don't want to get into that conversation.
Yeah, I know. It's like a
We
whole.
had this conversation, and it really bothers me.
It's such a weird fucking thing. But because it's so aesthetically boring, because it's so recognizable as human, it's like you could have made anything, and you made a digital blue human.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing I would say for the mannequin people in Cyberpunk. Like, they could have looked like anything, and you just made them. Check it out. It's a chick with a line down her face because it opens, and she's got a mohawk.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, right?
I think Internet Person 27 brings up a really good point. Yes, that's their actual username. It definitely didn't help that the devs hyped this game up. They super did. They did the absolute worst PR move you could do,
Yeah.
which also No Man's Sky did.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily his fault because that guy doesn't know how to talk to the media.
And it was 12
Like the main
people.
dev.
It was 12
Yeah.
people, and they really did believe in their product. I believe that because over time, they actually fixed it. They definitely did that.
Also, their entire office flooded midway through development.
I know.
so-
Oh my god! I think that's
That
so
did-
bad.
That didn't really happen to CD Projekt Red. They just kind of promised no crunch and delivered only crunch.
And that's another thing. That's where you get into the second half of the cyberpunk topic. Yes, it has its glitches. Everyone knows that. The game is damn near unplayable on some systems. It's definitely, at least to me, it is unplayable on consoles. Some people will argue that because they really want to like that game, or maybe, I don't know, they've got a PS4 Pro that just barely runs it or something. But I have seen console footage that just disgusts me. That people paid the same price for that as people paid for the PC version.
Well, yeah, that's why I think Sony was absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's a faulty fucking product.
Yeah.
You can't sell that.
Yep. And it's one thing, as the second half on this, it's one thing to make a bad product. It's another thing to lie about how you're going to make that product. Because they got all those good boy points. All those good boy points. They're the ones that made The Witcher. They're the ones who said we're not going to do the crunch thing. We're the ones who will meme with you and you will be your best friend, blah, 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 all that crap, and then just turn around and just walk in the other direction. Say, no, yeah, we're just going to beat the shit out of this project and the people working on it until it's remotely lookable.
But The Witcher isn't that good.
No, and The Witcher's not. I know that's a thing. People are going to argue on that, but it is, to me at least, you can't argue that the combat gets stale within the first 3 hours.
You press 2 buttons the whole game. Yeah. Nothing changes. You press fucking fast attack dodge.
And that's the way it is. I mean, you're sitting there looking at 200 hours of story content in The Witcher 3. Look, with all the DLC combined, it's something like 200 hours. Maybe I'm
something like that.
Maybe I'm inflating that a bit, but if you're going to be the guy who goes to every damn question mark, and I love doing that in open world games, I want to go to every fucking question mark. You're looking at hundreds of hours in The Witcher, and you're pressing 2 buttons to do combat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, and some people can deal with that. We are all people who played Dark Souls.
Don't get me wrong. I played through The Witcher 3 twice, and I really liked it. Right. It's still a bad game. Like, looking back at it, I probably should have played something else. Because all you do is use force field and hit the monster. You don't do anything else.
Oh, yeah, it was not balanced very well. Especially if you played it on the harder difficulties. Like, you had to play in a very specific way.
Well, yeah, because the game just cheats.
Yeah, there was that problem. I do remember that. But it sounds to me, when I hear a statement like that, I played through it twice, and I hate it. I feel like that reviewer for Warframe who had like 2,000 hours into it, and he's like, "Don't play this. Just don't play this. It's not good.
Don't make the same mistakes that I've made, friend. Please
don't do.
Save yourself.
You can have a life. You could get laid.
You can have a life, a wife, children. Please don't."
How many times have you played through Dark Souls? Twice. Stop there. Don't keep going. Don't keep going.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, you can.
Did way more than twice.
And it's kind of funny because we complain about a game having 2 buttons, but Dark Souls had 2 buttons. At the end of the day, it had 2 buttons.
Basically,
actually, it had 4, motherfucker. It was R1, R2, L1, L2.
True. Actually, no, you could make that. Well, you
depending on your build.
Twice the capabilities of other games.
I will agree with New Divide. That game is a piece of Hank Hill ass, referring to Cyberpunk.
That's
it is very Hank Hill ass. Disappointing, pale,
flat,
ugly, and I can't say that last part.
And the shit.
And only 2 penises.
Yeah, you can only have the 2 penises in game.
Is there only 2 sizes?
Yeah, there's only 2 penises.
That's pathetic.
See, I heard a lot about the content creator thing about Cyberpunk, and one of the things that Techie's really mad at, like specifically mad at, and I get that the only reason I bring him up for this, A, that he owns it, and B, the whole point of the game is to augment yourself, to be Mr. Cyborg person, right? Well, apparently, there's now... He looked this up, and this is what he's telling me. Maybe it's not true, and maybe it's not true to the viewer watching this in the future, but it's true right now. There's no way to alter your character after the game after you create it. There's no way to do that.
Oh no,
I've also
you
heard
can't.
And there's no way to augment the weapon's looks after and you get so many of them that probably isn't a problem because it's like Borderlands. You just shifting through gun after gun after gun after gun because you get so much loot. So that's not really a problem
Yeah.
until you find one you like, and then now your rainbow neon plastic body has to match with this fucking weird ass granular green fucking sniper rifle, and you just have to deal. You just have to deal with that. Like
Yep.
you just have to deal with that. And I feel that's so weird to me that a game that's all about the augmentation of the human body and the customability of the world, you can't change these things.
Nope.
Like that's so strange to me. That is such a weird thing. And I don't want to turn this into just Cyberpunk the worst fucking thing in the world and just constantly shit on it. I've heard that there's some good parts. I've heard that people have gone through and when they get a working system on PC, when it works, it does what it does well. You just have to get it to that point. And I think most people can't. Techie can't. He probably could on mine, but on his PC, which is like 5 years old, he can't. No, takes the whole thing down.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with New Divide again in the chat. Even for a game that graphically isn't even astounding, for it to be that poorly optimized is a joke.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's pathetic.
You have to
really
have to turn off. There's an option to lower the amount of people in the street that are walking around. There's an option for that, and you have to like turn that to low to even get it to play properly for most systems. And I'm sure there's someone out there who's like, I got the fucking the works. I could run it with, my eyes closed.
I got my big dick PC.
Yeah, you got those people, but
I'm a gamer. I'm an explorer.
yeah, most people don't have that system. They don't have the ability to do that, and in 3 years, I probably won't either. So I mean, at the end of the day, I get it. I get the major complaints. It just all around. That's what it is. But the biggest question about Cyberpunk is whether or not people are going to learn from it. And they won't. No, they probably
absolutely
won't.
not.
No, they probably won't.
No, if anything, it'll get worse.
It'll get worse, probably.
This isn't the first time something like this has happened.
Oh no.
So it's just going to keep happening.
It is the worst time it's happened.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
I think.
Oh, it's bad.
Out of the infamous releases, at least in recent memory, because we could talk about E.T. all day, which I've heard people make comparisons to that. The E.T. release.
I don't know, man. I was pretty good at that game.
Yeah,
I could speedrun that shit.
Going up and down.
That's right. Go home.
Yeah, I could reverse the movie case too.
Yeah.
I found a copy buried in the desert. That one's mine.
You being kind. Rewind %. It's pretty good.
How many copies did you find buried in the desert?
Pull my finger %.
Oh boy.
Would you pull E.T.'s glowing finger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rip it out of its socket.
What if it came off with a
Well, I'd want it to do that, so I could take it away.
You want
then,
it to
like,
make that
when
sound specifically?
I want it to make that sound, and I want because that way I know I can attach it to other things. And when I'm building like little miniatures, I could probably like slot it into something.
I like to imagine you immediately stick it onto your finger.
No, I have an extra long finger.
Cyberpunk should let you be able to do that. If I want 6 fingers in Cyberpunk, I should be able to have 6 fingers.
They should let you do that. I wish I could be E.T. in Cyberpunk.
All right, so what's
I wish I
cybernetic?
could be E.T. with a wig in Cyberpunk.
Could you imagine in the future? All right, what kind of cybernetics you want? It's courtesy free. Can you make all my fingers glow? Like an alien?
Yeah,
like
you
ET?
want like ET?
Yeah, exactly like that. Can you deform them too so they're really bulbous? Well, I mean,
you should make me look like E.T.
I want like all of Rudolph's fucking noses on my fingers. That's what I want. I want that big ass glowing bulb.
I'm gonna have to break your legs to make you that short.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go for it. I want to be ET. That's what I want.
Why can't I live in the
walk
future
out.
like that?
I guess that's the ultimate problem with Cyberpunk. It won't let me be ET.
That is yeah. We talked about that. The customization, so shit.
It's just at the end of the day, that's all I wanted, but they won't let that happen. It's
It's the
sad.
basis of Cyberpunk, really, becoming ET.
Yeah, I remember that as one of the secret endings.
That's right.
Being ET. I mean, at the end of the day, the game does feel like it could have ramifications in the industry. I hope that it does. It won't. Because
No.
we already know that the public won't care. I mean, the public sat there. How many people were sitting there going, "Yeah, because they had crunch time, I'm not buying the game." Everyone said that.
Mhm.
Everyone fucking said that. But here we
How many
are,
people bought it? Yeah.
Y'all said that about The Last of Us 2, and look where we are.
and look where we are.
Look what happened.
Please pay your devs. It's not that hard.
It's not hard. It's not hard at all.
But it's so easy just not to.
Yeah, please be a regular business. Please. Can you please just do what other businesses manage to do all around the world, where a mom and pop store pays their people? You should also pay your people. Simple as that.
Please. If you want devs to make
I
good
mean-
games, they have to be able to afford to live.
It's bad enough that the devs were convinced to go to Full Sail and waste all their fucking money, but then you're not going to pay them for the actual job they're trained to do.
Oh yeah, and all those bonus hours of crunch. Here's some fucking CD Project Red tokens.
Wow, dude, I can't wait to spend these at Subway.
Oh my god, are we going to Chuck E. Cheese next, you dick?
It's so great, dude.
Give me the tokens, baby.
Okay, guys, if we put our tokens together, maybe we could buy a career. They've got it behind the desk. I can see it, it's glowing. It's so many tokens, but maybe if we just all get together.
Please.
Unfortunately, your resume still has Cyberpunk 2077 on
I
it.
know that is going to be.
Oh God.
It's one of those
Damn.
things. Then
That's
again,
what-
who knows? Maybe it'll go the opposite direction. Maybe
I hope so.
Maybe who knows? They'll be walking in there with a resume and they'll be like, "Yeah, I used to work for CD Projekt Red." They'll be like, "Oh, so you know what not to do?" You know, and you'll be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I do actually. I've seen it. I've seen the ship sink. Let me tell you how to patch your holes." That would be a good argument on their resume. That's
I
what
can
would
tell
do.
you when the
Yeah.
management stinks.
Yeah, I'll come in here and tell you when we're dying, and that's how I try to pitch that resume.
I hope so.
It's not a bad way to go about it.
Trying
But
to walk
then
in
again-
without shame.
In the future, we don't know. Maybe they completely fix Cyberpunk in the future.
I hope they do.
Not gonna happen.
Nobody in this room, no one in this room wanted Cyberpunk to fail. Kaz and I remember talking about it. Both of us wanted to be wrong.
Well, you never want a game to come out and be bad.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
It's bad for the
God, I sure
devs
do
and it's
hope
bad for the.
I just don't enjoy this.
Yeah.
Hope I fucking waste every penny I have on this shit.
Well, if I ever hear
Oh,
that
that would be
there's
the
a,
best Reddit post.
if I ever hear that there's a new Blaze Blue announced, I'll channel my energy to curse the devs.
Damn.
Fuck you, Blaze Blue.
Damn, you have a strong opinion about Blaze Blue. Why is that?
Guilty Gear's better.
Oh, damn. Let's fight about anime fighters. Like,
Oh yeah.
If you saw the characters of Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue lined up, you would like Guilty Gear better, hands down.
Yeah, there's
would it matter?
Big titty
isn't
lady?
that like the? Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes, because the main character is named Ragnar the Blood Edge in Blaze Blue.
Oh,
That's not a name.
okay. Well, you might be right on that one. Now that you say that, I feel like
now you're
Ragnar the Blood Edge.
yeah, but isn't the guy from Guilty Gear named like I don't know,
Soul Bad Guy.
Soul
That's
Bad
a
Guy.
sick
Yeah,
name.
it's
That's
Soul-
a great name. He's the Soul Bad Guy.
So we have to
He's not-
compare Ragnar Blood Edge to Soul Bad Guy.
Yes.
Well, one of them sounds like they're having fun.
That's true.
Soul Bad Guy does not have fun.
No, I mean the creators who named him Soul Bad Guy.
Oh, absolutely. The devs love Soul Bad Guy and fucking Guilty Gear.
Well, either way, I feel like I'm not sure anybody wins in this competition, but that some people have their preferences, but it's all a bunch of anime trash to me. Fucking
Yeah. When it comes to waiting for new game releases, it doesn't matter what your hope is, you're gonna be disappointed.
That's not
You
true.
could expect usually for me, these past few years, it's been like 900% true. Every time I look forward to a game, even if I know it's gonna be bad, it's worse than I thought.
The one game
Mhm.
that completely met my expectations was the Total Warhammer game. They ran with the ball on that. I'm going to say that. It was Creative Assembly. For all their DLC crap, this was acceptable. I was okay with that.
Mhm.
That Spider-Man game for PS4, that fucking kicked ass.
I haven't
Well,
played that
actually,
yet.
yeah.
That was a great game. That met my expectations and then some.
I was surprised how good it was.
Yeah, that was really. And I hear the Miles Morales game is just as good.
Did they have pizza delivery missions?
Uh,
Did they?
there was something along those lines. I don't think it was pizza specifically. They had the catch the pigeon thing, which was pretty fucking funny. Watching Spider-Man try to catch a pigeon, that was funny.
The voice of Ben Tennyson was Spider-Man.
Did he do a flip?
Oh, you do a lot of
Yeah,
flips.
he did do a flip. Yeah,
Alright.
he did a lot
You
of
do
flips.
a lot of flips.
Game of the year.
So that must be like the most quintessential Marvel scene from that movie was him asking
Hey,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man!
Yeah, like that was everybody's fucking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a Marvel movie, but I can't let it take itself too seriously or else we're gonna look retarded. And then sure enough, they just do what we all wanted. Just
Yep.
that.
Hey, you're that Spider guy from YouTube.
Call me Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Okay, Spider-Man.
Okay, Spider-Man.
I love the idea of Spider-Man doing self PR because no one knows who he is.
He has to.
Instead of Spider Guy.
Fucking
Yeah, well, you don't want to get a stupid name.
like
It's like-
Night Monkey or whatever the fuck he used in the next one when he was in fucking
That one
Europe.
sounds kind of sus.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
like
what
that
they
one.
decided to use, so I don't
Is
know
that
what to
really
tell
what
you.
they decided?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was something like that.
That's not great.
Well,
Why did he do that?
Marvel's always been a trendsetter, so you never know where
That
that's
is
going to
true.
go. You never know.
That is true.
No taking.
But no, that actually with the Spider-Man games, that kind of being as how that's the only one I could think of. That kind of moved into the next topic I wanted to cover was whether or not the PS5 is worth it. Since I feel like what needs to be said about Cyberpunk is done. I
Yep.
feel like we're done with that, and we could talk about the PS5 and how that also doesn't run Cyberpunk.
Yeah, they don't.
But I mean, the PS5 as a console itself.
Retails for like what, $500, $600 in Canada,
It's up there.
not counting tax or environmental tax in Canada.
Uh-huh.
That shit's like $700 here. I'm not buying that.
If you can even get your hands on one with the
Exactly.
way, which is something we're used to because of the Switch, but now with COVID, it's
worse.
It's worse. Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
worse. I had joked with my dad because my dad he called me on the phone and he asked me. He says, "Do you know where you can get a PS5?" I was like, "Why are you asking? Because you don't play games anymore." And he's like, "Well, no, I got some friends at work that say if I can see one, buy it, and they'll cover me." That's how bad it's gotten. They're asking like literally everyone they know, if you see one, please buy it because I want to get
Yep.
one for my kid.
Spotters.
Yeah, I will 100% reimburse you. And I'm like, no, I can't help you with that. I don't know where the hell to even start getting a PS5. And Techie was at work, said the same thing. There was a rumor they had it in stock. A rumor that they had it in stock.
Hmm.
And then it was gone by the time he even asked, looked at a coworker's like, do they still have those PS5s in there? Like, nope.
Yep.
That was just gone. So I can't. I mean, it's a mixture of a lot of variables on that one, but we can't really affect any of that. I don't have a PS5. I don't think any of you have a PS5.
No.
No.
I don't.
There's a
even-
couple of reasons why I don't want one. Like the easy option or the easy reason, I don't have no fucking money.
Yeah.
But I don't like buying modern consoles exactly when they come out because you don't know what kind of hardware defects they have over like the course of a few months or a year.
That takes a while. To figure out.
I always just wait for the second version,
Mhm.
which scared me from the Switch because the Switch never got that. There was a second model of the Switch they produced that fixed the batteries, but I think I bought mine after they did that.
Oh, I hate when that shit happens.
Yeah, they didn't announce it either.
They didn't announce that.
No.
So I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's two models
Well,
to the
that's
Switch.
why you didn't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't justify buying a PS5. Also because of one, I can't justify spending the money on it, and two, what What would I play on it? Demon
Right.
Souls?
Yeah, there's like 11 games.
Yeah, that brings us to the next issue of that. Like, what is there to play
Uh-huh.
on the PS5? And as stated before, it's a Miles Morales game. It's a good game.
Play Bug Snacks.
Lord.
Oh boy, Bug Snacks. I could make all of the people pickles.
Well, you could get DMC5 Special Edition, which
Yeah,
is
you
actually an amazing game.
You could.
Oh,
Comes with Virgil now.
Oh, it does?
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
Virgil, yeah. I'm not a big DMC guy, but I know that people are into that. So you get that. All right.
Yeah.
I
Some other game. I know.
don't want to talk about it.
So, yeah, I've heard there was some other game people were excited about. It's on the tip of my tongue. Can't remember it. No, man. Guess we'll just skip it.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Was Assassin's Creed Valhalla good? Is it good?
I can answer that.
Can you?
Yeah, because I played it on PC.
Oh, yeah?
There was a point where I was having a lot of fun in that game,
Uh-huh.
and then I wasn't.
Those days ago.
Oh, so it's just like Odyssey.
Yeah,
There's a point where Odyssey's really fun, and then you keep doing the same thing.
yeah. It was
Yeah,
a lot of
alright.
that. I don't like how they divided up the world level thing again. They just kind of wanted to do that, make it gear intensive.
Yeah.
There's certain stuff that's really easy to get versus stuff that's so out of the way and difficult that you won't even try and it feels unreachable without super grinding it out. That gets frustrating. The combat is okay. One of my biggest gripes is that the animations you get when you get somebody's health all the way down and you want to get like the big super hit stamina, you've knocked out their health bar type shit, or their stamina bar, they all look the same. They all
For every
look,
weapon?
not every weapon. I mean, they don't. There's a difference, but you're gonna do a lot of the same kill animations using those abilities over and over again, and you just get bored looking at it.
That's not great.
Especially with a few of them being as specific as they are. You're just like, yeah, so this guy chose to do that to like every 80 people he ran into today. And it gets in your brain and just oh, there it is again. Oh, he's stomping that axe into his face again, stomping his axe into his face again. You know, doing that over and over, and it can get pretty repetitive. And I was pretty disappointed in that, based off what I know about the popularity of executions and like For Honor. You know,
Yeah.
another Ubisoft game that everybody loves to talk about how different the executions are, and then you play a game like Valhalla where you just see the same ones over and over, and you're like, "Come on," you know, like you just
That's not great.
yeah, that's not good. Also, no longsword. There's a great sword, but there's
no longsword.
there's no one-handed longsword in the game.
He's invading where?
England, and he's a Viking, and they would have had him.
Wait, he doesn't have a longsword himself?
No,
Or an arming sword or something similar?
no one-handed.
is-
There's a great sword.
That's a slap to the face.
And you can one-hand the great sword with a perk. You can hold two great swords with a perk, or mix and match the weapons.
What an assassin.
But
Yeah.
you can't have like a small sword and board thing.
Why? That's exactly what he would have had.
I don't have an answer for you. It
Because
is
I
stupid.
just think that they know
How to
history
piss me
better
off?
than you. Yeah.
It was when
So,
I
you
learned
know.
that I was pretty
it's the
sad.
same. It's like the same dumb shit. Why they didn't give the Spartan a shield in Odyssey?
Even though you can clearly see his animations want one,
Yep. He just never
especially
uses the fucking shield.
especially in the spear animations. You see him doing that weird ass "look at me, I'm Achilles" crap.
Yeah.
But it's very clear his animations were meant to have a shield that he just does not. He doesn't have it.
Such a weird design choice.
And that was even worse in the Odyssey game, because I'm just sitting there thinking, this is what they're known for.
He's from Sparta.
This is all of the Hellenistic states, if I'm saying that right.
You are.
All of them had hoplites, and that was the thing.
That's what everybody did back then. Why the fuck don't you have it?
It's so insane to me that they don't. but we have to go down that route and realize that the games are never going to be historically accurate, and even when they are, it, there's a lack of variety because they have to keep it realistic, versus also the people who want fun. Sometimes the
Yeah.
game has to be fun, and there are parts of it that are a lot of fun. I think a lot
I
of
don't know, man. Ghost of Tsushima did it pretty well.
true, but I
It
don't.
went both like reasonable and completely unreasonable.
Yeah, it was. You definitely felt like a legend walking around,
Yeah.
but at the same time, somewhat grounded. Somewhat,
Yeah.
you know, not in the multiplayer. That
Oh,
shit.
absolutely
But
not.
that's okay because that's the story they wanted to tell. Was like these, the dude. You're basically playing a character that some guy in a bar is ranting about. There were demons, and there was like 16 of them. Whoa,
Legendary
yeah!
swordsman.
And then there's like Mongolian guy like caught on fire, but he kept fighting, and it was awesome. Like, oh wow, that's nuts.
It
Like,
was
oh.
fucking epic. I loved it.
Yeah, that's fine. But the character himself, the Ghost of Tsushima character, he goes through the main game doing some pretty interesting shit. But I wouldn't call any of it like, oh, that's so ridiculous. I can't even see straight. Other than having this magical ability to use that jump rope super well.
Yeah, and the wind pointing him in every single direction he wants.
Yeah, he definitely has that going on.
Yeah,
But
like if you remove like some of the mystical powers, it's pretty reasonable.
yeah, it's decent. I mean, yeah, I guess no, because some of the mystical stuff includes those super moves. Those are pretty mystical.
Yeah.
Super move.
But you had to put those in that game because that's what they. It's every
Well, yeah.
fucking film that's of Japanese material has always had the cowboy stare down, the Mexican standoff, and then suddenly somebody twitches and the other guy's dead. You have to do it. You have
Oh,
to.
it's such a good gameplay mechanic too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Being able to do samurai showdowns with every single NPC you can walk up to.
Hiya!
I will say, and the only reason we're talking about Tsushima now is because this might be one of those things that's like worth it for the PS5, just to run.
Is it
through.
on the PS5?
I think so, isn't it?
I don't think it is.
I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is. Or well, if it not
Okay.
I'd be surprised. And if it isn't now, it's gonna be. I mean, we know of it has to. There has to be like a PS5 like version of that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's remastered and all that, and the collector's whatever edition, and all that crap. Like that's
It's eventually going to be on PS5.
okay. There you go. Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
using the Google machine when I won't because I'm lazy. But yeah, it's gonna be on the PS5. So right now, I guess that's not much of a sell because it's not there now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say to anybody listening to this, if you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, play it.
It's probably one of the best open world games you can get right now.
Yeah. That you haven't already played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skyrim doesn't count.
And this is coming from me. And both of the guys in this call will tell you right now, I'm not a fan of Japan. I'm not a fan.
Oh no.
That is a really good recommendation if it's coming from you.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. It scores extra points for not being set in the Sengoku era because everything is.
Yep.
And
yeah,
it isn't. It's actually talking about, the Mongol invasions, which nobody talks about for some reason, even though that was amazing.
That's really cool.
It's a very big deal.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
It was like the turning point for Japanese history. That's a big deal, and they cover it and do it well. They give it its fair shake, and I think that game, I had a lot of fun in it. The combat feels very snappy. It can get repetitive, but it feels snappy. It's definitely more varied than Witcher 3. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's got that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say there's builds, but you can mix and match shit to do like things. So you're not going to get a build diversity as you would in other games that are third person with swords. I'm not going to mention them, but there are other games that have that. But this one won't. But it's close enough to where your experience could differ from someone else's experience. You could do that for sure.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Other than missions that are scripting you into things, the one big thing about Ghost of Tsushima was the ability to decide how you were going to choose the engagement. And yes, it's kind of like a mix between, or it's not really a mix, but it's really a choice between two options: go in fucking loud or go in soft. and you were
Yeah.
not penalized either way, unless it had some mission specific "don't get seen" or something. But in most of the open world combat, you want to walk in there with heavy armor and be Mr. Samurai, call everybody out, make them come out to the front and fight you. You could fucking do that, and that's why I
really
bought
cool.
it. I didn't want to be a shinobi. I don't like
Yeah.
shinobi. I don't like any of that.
It's
crap.
lame.
Yeah, I don't like that crap. But they told me, they're like, hey, you can walk up the front gate and say, you got small pee-pee, come fight me. I'm like, yep.
Come here, bitch! I'll kick your
Absolutely.
ass. I'll beat your ass right in front of me.
I couldn't spend my money quick enough after that. Like I was so excited, and I really
Fuck
enjoyed
yeah.
that game. That is one of the best games. That should have been game of the year.
Let's not talk about that.
That should have been game of the year. It should have been. I'm sorry, it should have been game of the year.
Give me your Last of Us 2.
That should have been game of the year. By the way, thank you, Honor, for the resubscription to the channel.
Least paid devs. Last of Us 2.
Yeah,
Last of Us 2.
Leaked storyline. Last of Us 2.
I don't
Last
know.
of Us 2, baby. Let's go.
I feel like I don't know enough about Last of Us 2 to talk about it.
I don't need to talk about it. Because knowing different information will not change my opinion at this point.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty strong.
Please
stand.
pay your devs.
Okay, that's
Please pay your devs.
That's
It's not
true.
hard.
That's true.
If your dev has to leak the game in order to get paid, that's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does suck.
Can we talk about Ronald Reagan on the PS5?
What?
Yeah, digital Ronald Reagan on the PS5.
How do you
in
mean,
Black
what?
Ops Cold War.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah, baby.
I'm not a big Black Ops person anymore. I used to love the first and second one, but you're talking about zombies. That's what you're talking
In
about, right?
zombies?
Isn't it?
Is that in the
Wait,
zombie?
can
I'm
is
pretty.
that
Is that not? I thought that was in the campaign.
Can I play Ronald
Oh, yeah, I
Reagan?
thought
You cannot play Ronald Reagan.
Oh well, then why are you talking about Ronald Reagan if you can't play Ronald Reagan?
Because you can accept a mission to do some war crimes from him,
Oh right.
just like how it would have been.
Just how?
My
Yeah, just like the
immersion
real
is
Ronald
ruined
Reagan.
and my penis is flaccid.
Well, in all seriousness, it seems like Black Ops Cold War does have some issues right now. Not a lot of people like it as much as the last Call of Duty, which was the Modern Warfares.
I haven't played a Call of Duty since. I actually did play Black Ops 3.
I played Black
I
Ops
can't
3. It wasn't
I
good.
remember the last time I played a Call of Duty.
I
That was back when I
own-
still played on PS3.
I own Modern Warfare on PS4, and it's pretty fun, but it's Call of Duty. You get bored after like a month.
Yeah, that's what happened
Yeah.
with Black Ops 3. I didn't really like the whole running on walls thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as
Oh,
Titanfall. It just didn't work as good as Titanfall. So
It's such a shame no one plays Titanfall.
I know Titanfall 2 is like
It's
Oh,
such a
yeah.
fun game.
I was sad. That was very sad that they
The
decided to
Titans-
get to that way.
The Titans feel so good to pilot, and the audio design is amazing. Ah, what a shame.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about The Thing?
the thing?
The
Yeah.
movie?
The movie?
The game none of us want to play.
John
Oh.
Carpenter's the thing?
Well, I guess we could kind of go into that because I know that we were going to talk about like us.
Well, let's just say whether you want to play it or not.
I definitely don't want to play it.
I want to play Demon Souls on the PS5.
I do also want to try out Demon Souls on PS5.
It
That's
looks
also because
really cool.
comparing it to how shit it felt to me, like, because I know tons of people that love Demon Souls, but when I got into Demon Souls, that was
Can I have a smoke? while
Already
you guys
have
talk?
yeah, sure.
If you want. No, that's
Yeah, if you
perfectly
want,
fine.
fuck
If you
it,
really
yeah.
don't want to talk about it,
It's not that I don't want to talk about it. I'll quickly say that I'm pretty done with Souls in general, and I got real bad vibes from that game and its aesthetic. It does
Yeah.
not look
Mhm.
like what I would imagine that remake would look like anyway. It has not sold me to go back to that. It just has not sold me. There are
Fair
things I
enough.
do like. I think that the backstab animations and the parry animations are sick.
Oh yes, they
Oh,
made
Yeah,
those
yeah.
look great. Where you like kind of twist the blade.
That
That's
sh-
fucking sick.
that looks fucking sick. It's sad that they didn't have that ingenuity in the last ones, but that's really it. The sound sounds good. I think the sound is good in the game. Very very visceral and bassy and you know, when you connect, it makes it feel snappy. When I've from the footage I've
Yes.
seen, like you've connected
Uh-huh.
that backstab. That's got the sound like boom right in your face.
Oh yeah, the old Demon Souls fucking doom.
And they did they did do that. They
Uh-huh.
kind of nailed that. But the way it looks,
They completely changed the art style.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like the way it looks. I think some of the scenery looks better, and then some of it looks
Some of it
worse.
The character's lost in the remake.
Yeah.
In the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they even changed up the music a lot.
They got rid of the Moaning Man.
Yeah.
In Tower of Latria. There's no guy that goes "Arr!" like every 5 seconds.
Oh, they got rid of that?
Yeah,
What
you
the
can't hear him
fuck?
anymore.
That annoys me.
I remember when I used to play Demon Souls and turn my volume down so no one heard that in my house.
Why?
I
Why did
remember-
they have to spit in the fan's face so hard?
Seriously, that was the only thing I hope they kept sound wise.
That's good.
There's like little things here and there. Like I remember hearing the old fucking what's it called? The theme for when you're there with the lady with the pancake face, the maiden.
Maiden in Black.
Yeah, in the Nexus theme.
Yeah.
Or was it the fucking? It was one of the fucking
Nexus
themes.
is one of the few places in that game that looks better.
The Nexus looks great in the
Yeah,
remake.
the
I think it
Nexus
looks
looks
awesome.
really good.
Uh-huh.
That does look better in that than the other one. I mean, it should. One was PS3 and the other one isn't. But that does look like an improvement in that art style. It does look
Mhm.
better.
Yeah.
But there are other
There's
places
things that are nicer about it.
Yeah, there's other
I-
places where I'm like,
I
that is the
think-
most generic ass looking spot I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think all of Stonefang suffers from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of Boletaria.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ups and downs to it.
I actually have not seen the Valley of Defilement yet.
Mhm.
Same,
I
I've also
haven't
not
seen
seen
it
it.
either.
I've seen everything but that.
And that place is just dark, so who knows what you get to
Yeah.
when you get to the
I really
lighting,
want
where
to
the
see
lighting is
the
better.
what's his name? The Leechmonger? I'd like to see that enemy.
Yeah. Oh, I saw
yeah.
that one. That was a little weird. It was a little weird.
It was weird in the original too.
Mm-hmm.
There's things to it where it's just I don't know. I'm
actually
like
going
some
to smoke,
changes
and you guys could talk more about
Yeah,
it. Because
you're
that
good.
game, as the game that is probably a huge selling point for the PS5, it deserves to be talked about.
Yes.
It does
Uh-huh.
deserve to get talked about. So I mean, but
Just not by you.
but probably not by me because I'm incredibly biased about it, and
Very biased.
we
Full
could
of
probably
hatred,
talk about that in this
anger,
podcast at some point.
boiling inside of you,
Since all of
Yeah,
us,
sure.
one way or another, have
ready to surface.
felt that in our
any
lives.
moment.
We all have the dark soul.
That don't fucking.
We-
Oh God,
Well, in all seriousness,
Undead.
I do think the Demon Souls remake looks good. It looks a lifetime away, like far and away better than the fucking Dark Souls remake. That one was a joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I literally
Yeah.
think the Dark Souls remake is worse than the original. I would rather play the Prepare to Die edition, which you can't get on Steam anymore because they removed it.
No, that made me sad because
That made me so mad.
I wanted to play it on PC because I was like, oh fuck, this is the first time I have a PC and I could like play the game at a good quality, and I couldn't.
Yeah, you have to
Not
play the
anymore. I
shitty
had to get
remaster. And it's
Fucking,
even worse because the remaster doesn't connect with the Prepare to Die servers. So
Mhm.
they just kind of split the community.
Yeah, that was the stupidest shit. FromSoft has made a lot of stupid fucking mistakes.
Well, the remaster wasn't made by FromSoft. It was made by Blue Note. I
Oh,
think
was
they're
it?
called Blue Note. Yeah, it was made. It was given to another company to do. They did a shit
Huh.
job.
Yeah, they did. Well, on Demon Souls, my big thing with it is I do want to play it. I want to play it at some point. It's just not. It doesn't justify. It still doesn't justify me getting a PS5 for it.
Oh hell no, hell no! That
Yeah.
game is not worth $500.
No,
It's
it's not the same.
I'd
where it's
pay
like,
I'd pay full price for it,
Mhm.
but I would not buy a console for it. Unless you like,
After
if you're one of those people who bought a PS4 for Bloodborne, then yeah, maybe buy a PS5 for
Well,
Demon's Souls.
I was gonna say that just now. The difference I feel too is the fatigue, the soul's fatigue, is too strong compared to when Bloodborne came out, or when Bloodborne came out, everybody was hyped. Everybody was like, "Fuck yes, new game, let's go!"
Yeah, new
and people were
IP.
buying PS4s. And after the Bloodborne happened,
I don't wanna talk too deeply about Bloodborne because I'll get really mad and we'll be here for an hour.
But after that happened, many tastes were changed, and many people began to get the fatigue of souls.
And that's like a real thing too.
Yeah,
Because like if you've played through like more than one Souls game, I want to say like if you've played the games over 3 times in like a row,
if
you're
you
gonna
played
get
games only for 6 years, like the rest of us,
like seriously, like actually, you're gonna develop some negative feelings for the series and its like shortcomings, which there are a lot of.
oh yeah, there are a lot of, and
Like,
sometimes
don't get me wrong, the games
Mhm.
I'm back.
in general,
I
I
love
think
the games.
in general, I think the games are good. I don't think every game is as good as each other, but I think the
No.
games are good.
What are we talking about?
I feel they all have their own merits.
The Demon Souls is not worth getting a PS5 over, right?
Yeah, final verdict.
So I guess that kind of means it's not worth it to get a PS5 right now.
No.
No. One of the driving forces between me getting a PS4 was actually Battlefield 1. Because
Oh really?
the idea of a multiplayer shooter set in World War One was like, bing, give me that right now. What a great idea and what a fantastic game. Then Battlefield 5 came out, and let's not talk about that.
Yeah, let's
But
definitely not.
I don't think I'm gonna buy a PS5 until the next Battlefield game comes out.
I can understand that, and I feel like it's kind of funny because the last FromSoft thing was also like the big selling point for the PS4 was Bloodborne,
Mhm.
and that's everybody wanted a piece of Bloodborne, but I will say in Bloodborne's defense, at least it was new.
Yeah, it was a completely new
Yes.
IP.
It was a whole new game.
Yes, it was
I didn't enjoy it.
all like uh-huh.
People liked it.
I don't want to talk about whether I enjoy it or not. We're gonna be here a while.
Yeah, no kidding.
On my opinion on it, I didn't like it when it first came out. I still feel lukewarm on it. I enjoy it more now, but
It's still
more
a
of a
fun
thing.
game.
It's still a fun game. It's still
But yeah, it's got its
all of them are a fun game. It's the main difference is how long have you been in this?
Yeah.
Dark Souls. Well, there's a big difference there because Dark Souls 2 is a fun game for the opposite reason. You do you do not like playing through Dark Souls 2. You like playing against people in Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
Or you like playing with friends through Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, but the actual single player like elements of Dark Souls 2 suck ass compared to the other games.
Yep.
Yes.
No, that's fair. That's a fair statement.
But you know, it's still as good as the other games because of its player versus player aspect.
Well, it's almost like each game has its own. You probably said this while I was smoking, but its
own merits.
Yeah, every game has its own merits. There's good things and bad things, but I would say to all the people who bought a PS4 for Bloodborne, probably don't do that for Demons because
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Not the same.
And Demons is not a new IP. It's not a new thing to explore. There's nothing about it that's going to make you be like, "Oh man, this is so new and interesting to me." Most people who play Demons are going through it like, "Oh yeah, look what they did." Okay. And you're at the end of the day, and this is a whole topic into itself, is like nostalgia and how that changes your view on something. You're not going to relive the first time you played Demon Souls. It's not going to happen. For people who want to go through that experience the first time, more power to you for the remake.
Like I can show up at your house with a bat, and eventually you won't remember Demon Souls.
Yeah.
But You'll never get that
Yeah.
true first playthrough again.
Yeah, it's never
You're
gonna
right.
happen.
Oh,
It's never gonna happen. And you want it to happen for people, but it's probably not. And at the end of the day, it's always up to how badly somebody wants something. But I can tell you from somebody who's played thousands of hours of the Dark Souls series, Demons is not worth $600.
Nope.
There's
It's
things
just not.
there's things to it that also worry me because I feel as though I would not enjoy Demons as much as I've enjoyed the other games because it might feel like a downgrade in some regards.
Mm,
Just because there's mechanics that are missing.
yeah.
Or yeah.
There's only one thing about the remasters that made me go, "Wow, that's really sick." Is now you can wear the
How many
penetrator
people you
armor.
can summon? Oh,
You can get the penetrator armor now, and that's the only thing in the world that made me go, "Ooh!"
I think the only thing that, like I said before, was the sound. I thought
Sound design's really good.
the sound they
Yeah.
did nail the sound for that. But I wouldn't be me buying a PS5 is, again, it's gonna be like the Battlefields, even though I got a nice PC now that can probably run that. It's gonna be the games that I know I'm gonna play with friends. I'm probably not gonna buy it for like a single player experience.
And the games you play regularly.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
kind of things you go like off and on it, and
We played
that's
Battlefield 1 so much.
yeah, we did. We had a lot of fun.
It
on
was
that.
such a good game.
What a shame
Battlefield 5.
that you and I did not have that moment recorded by that.
Oh man,
by
with the
that
train and the tank.
we could have sold that to the devs as like an advertisement. That was so perfect that we
You guys
could,
don't understand what we're talking about.
It was so good. Yeah, I'm sorry to leave people out. It was
It's a serious you had to be there moment.
yeah,
with what
and you could get that out of Battlefield 1. I think that's the selling point of that game versus all
much like the Great War, you kind of had to be there.
You kind of had to be, yeah, you had to kind of be there, Well, and it's one of those things like I think that's the drawing for like Bad Company 2 is the same thing. You could have moments in it that you'd never forget ever.
Yeah, those only in Battlefield moments.
Yeah, like you only gonna have that, and I will forever remember Kaz and I driving in reverse in front of a train, trying to blow it up with like 1,000 players throwing fucking grenades at us to stop us, and we could not be stopped in that fucking Land Raider. Like, it was just the greatest moment, and it sounds pretty typical, but it was a great thing.
It was one of the most chaotic and like real moments I have ever had in an FPS,
It was nuts.
where the train began approaching us, and I just went. It felt like I was sitting in a tank, tapping Dragon on the shoulder, going back up, reverse, reverse, reverse,
back up, and Kaz is just killing dudes left and right on the turret, and I'm trying to drive this thing and shooting that anti-tank gun in the front, and it's fucking the train's just not stopping, so neither can we. Oh, it was amazing, and lots of people have those type of experiences in other games with their friends, and I can't imagine me having. I will not have that experience playing a single player game, and most of the titles for PS5 right now are single player.
Yeah,
and I just can't imagine myself getting into that. Real quick, to anybody who's still listening live, tell us about the sound levels and that everybody can be heard and all that. I know that's something we probably should have done before, but I've been adjusting shit as time has gone by, getting it fiddled out. If anybody knows, while we move on to the next topic, if anybody wants to let us know about that, that would be appreciated. Thank you. Anyway.
Yeah.
The next topic, because I guess we said what we wanted about the PS5.
Yep.
On a more personal note between all of us when it comes to Souls.
Yeah.
How much of that, our opinion on Demon Souls, how much of that is influenced, do you think, by the last 5 years of being around that community?
Run that by me again.
Like, like how much has being around the Souls community in general influenced your opinion on whether or not the Demon Souls remake is good? Because I feel like we've all changed.
100%.
Yeah, I feel like
100%.
Yeah, I feel.
Thank you.
I feel like that's also a fact. Yeah. Thanks, Bacon.
Thank you, Bacon.
Um,
Somebody in chat told us we're good. That's what that was, YouTube.
yeah.
Anyway,
Fucking, wait.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I most certainly do believe that the community has an effect on my opinion on the Souls, on Souls in general, where it's a situation of like,
How
all
much?
right.
How much of this do I want to deal with?
Well, here's what kind of happened to me. I kind of just, before I started interacting with the community, I kind of viewed Souls as whatever, just another video game. I didn't really understand the community or the devs. That changed. I started thinking about the games as developed products by people after I started interacting with the community, because I saw how little they gave a shit about their online community.
Oh, they didn't care at all. I felt so.
But the thing that made me get pissed off about the games themselves and the storylines, funny enough, is Bloodborne. Because I played Bloodborne and I thought, this story's garbage. What the hell's wrong with the other game stories? It made me go back and think and pick the other games apart because I was that mad Bloodborne turned out like
Funny
that.
enough, same. It was a situation where I think that happened to me more in 2, where I used to think of how great back when I started playing 2, there was a while where I would think to myself how great the fucking story of 1 was, because I'd spin on its dick so hard. And then it wasn't until I hated 2 when I first started playing it, and I was like, this game's dumb, I'm gonna go back to Dark Souls, and I started playing Dark Souls, and then I started to dislike Dark Souls because all the things that I made fun of Dark. Yeah, well, it was a thing where I started to think of all the things I would talk shit about Dark Souls 2 and compare it to 1, and then firsthand re-experience 1 and watch my rose-tinted glasses get stepped on and shattered.
Yeah.
It was such an experience where it's like, oh. So then I gave 2 another chance, and then I was like, oh, this game's actually really fun.
Yeah, eventually you mellow out to like, yeah, it's alright. It's alright.
Yeah,
I think the angriest I ever was, the first time I ever got angry at FromSoft was when I first realized there was a downgrade. When they first showed Dark Souls 2 and they ripped the lighting engine out for the final game.
Yeah.
When I first saw that, I was like, you motherfucker. I remember that day because I spent like an entire afternoon stewing in anger like I was a fucking dwarf. Let's go in the book of grudges. Let's go to the book. But fucking, I actually sat there pissed off, like complaining to a friend of mine, like, well, why'd they do that? They already had it in the fucking trailer.
It was already good. It looked good.
These fucking devs. I think that was one of the first times I've ever complained about devs before. Because I usually just don't give a shit. A game's a game when it comes out. But that's when I was like, why'd you do that?
You never really attach it to an entity. I think.
Yeah, that's when I like. After that, I kind of started paying more attention to devs because you know like EA and Ubisoft, but you don't really like take a look inside of them.
Yeah, it was. I think 2 was also one that made me think like that. When people started to shit talk 2, they started nitpicking at the credits because they looked at the people that were on there and they started to say, these aren't the same names that were on the other one.
Yeah. So when we found out about the B team.
Yeah. Oh, and the term the B team.
Yeah, the B team.
That was pretty prevalent. Yeah, that was. I don't know. Souls funny. For me. I mean, everyone knows I never played it for the PvE. Never. I played Demons when that came out because somebody at the store returned it and said it was too hard, and I had an extra like $15 and took it home. That was maybe the second week that game had been out, and I was enjoying it for a bit. I was like, "Oh, hack and slash Europe, okay, that's cool." And I went through it, and then I found out that you could go into other people's worlds and kill them.
Oh yeah,
you just fuck with them.
I was like, "That's sick." So I started doing that for a while, and then after maybe 100 hours of that, I got bored, and I stopped playing Demons. I remember specifically Techie messaging me online and telling me that there was going to be a sequel to Demons, but it wasn't going to be Demons. It was going to be something else. And Techie never played Demons. He was just trying to show, that he gave a shit about what I gave a shit in, right? So he's just trying to be nice, right? He's like, oh yeah, that game you talked about, they're making a sequel. I'm like, I don't fucking care. Oh, like, who cares? It's probably gonna suck anyway. Sequels are always fucking terrible, you know. And
Yeah.
sure enough, Dark Souls comes around and it becomes what it becomes. We can't deny what it became because everybody and their brother went fucking nuts for it, and the
Oh,
memes
yeah.
were crazy. The people who got involved in were crazy. There became a whole culture, and I think the uniqueness of Dark Souls. I can always get credit for this. The uniqueness of Dark Souls is that there was something for everybody.
Yeah.
You had the mocky, weird lore people
Uh-huh.
who just wanted to sit there and not realize that the story was just a book that had pages torn out of it on
Yeah.
purpose to
Uh-huh.
make it, but whatever. Um, they did that and thought that that was fun. Then you had the single player people who were like, I'm going to challenge this stuff. I'm going to run builds. I'm going to speed run. They had that. And then you had the PvP people. There's not many games out there that have both a speed running and PvP community.
Oh yeah.
There's
Right?
not many of them. I can't think of one off the top of my head. There probably is, but I can't think of that isn't like an MMO. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
gonna say in an MMO.
MMOs has it, but I don't think any other series has that type of diversity in terms of the player base. But then you get into realizing none of these people like each other very much.
No.
In fact, they hate each other.
They hate each other.
The game is designed around these three different casts to hate each other.
They can't stand each other.
That's how the invasion system was designed.
I mean,
Yes.
they hate each other, and
That's the beauty of it.
you've got the PvE people and the PvP people that can agree that the devs don't fucking like you. Yeah, and then you have the lore people who don't care. And that's just one of those things. Like, you can't when you're looking at devs and their reactions to stuff, that becomes more important to us now. We have to be careful to not worship them. Because that's where you get problems. You get major
Cyberpunk.
you get problems like that. You get problems like Death Stranding, which I don't have a problem with Death Stranding. I just know that wasn't what people were expecting.
I have a problem with the way people treat Hideo Kojima.
I have a problem. Yes, I
Like
think,
how he can't do anything stupid or wrong. Everything's really deep and cool.
yeah, the Kojimis. That's what I call them,
Yeah.
little Kojimis. People who are big
Yeah.
fans of Kojima, like the Kojimis, they're coming. No matter what.
Kojima files, if you would.
Yeah, those people.
Kojima
Like they
Files.
can't.
Oh God, that's a good name.
They cannot. Look at a fault. And granted, you're talking to somebody who doesn't like the Metal Gear series. I've never been into that. I've never been in the Metal Gear series. I don't like the writing. I don't like the humor. I don't like that every little thing has to be this huge fucking explanation. And it's like the antithesis of show, don't tell. They won't do that. They don't show, don't tell, never. They have to tell you. It is show and tell 100% of the time. And I don't fucking like that. But everybody was expecting like a Metal Gear game. And next thing they get is Death Stranding, which is at its core FedEx.
Yeah, it's a pizza delivery sim.
Which and it does it really well. I'll give it there's a
It's
comic.
fun. It's amazing.
It's really well at doing that. But he was allowed to do his own project and do his own thing. But people expected so much different for him, and that wasn't fair to him. It wasn't fair to you as a consumer to have those type of expectations. So you have to get into that.
I will say this about Death Stranding, since I never finished that, I got to go back. I have never had so much fun being overweight in the game. It is so fun to be fat in that game and struggle to keep on your 2 fucking feet because you bit off more than you could chew.
Yeah.
You have to carry the weight of your own hubris. It's amazing.
Yeah. they really nailed that and it's such a weird thing for them to like do. But they did it. Now that there's a PC version, it's not relevant to the PS5, by the way, that argument of whether to buy it or not, because there's a PC version and there's no real reason to not use it because it's actually really well optimized. So you can just do that. I'm dropping a lot of frames for some reason.
I'm seeing that too. I think it's settled down.
It's going back and forth there. I don't know what that is.
That's all right.
Very unfortunate. Well, yeah, this is mostly just for the VOD, right?
It's all right. Yeah.
As long as it doesn't crash. I've got the big red square. I don't know if Techie came into the house, ate his lunch, and started downloading something just to spite me. But
Stop downloading all that porn.
I know, it's unbelievable. God, as soon as he walked out the door, he just left to go back to work. As soon as he walked out the door, the frames just started going crazy. That's funny to me. It's like he set back like a timer or something. Like, fuck you.
Lag switch, idiot.
Oh, yeah, damn. But anyway, I would say we have to be careful as people when we're looking at these devs because they are just people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I really wish more of them would hire PR people. I really wish that super bad.
And it's kind of hard to blame the devs for a problem in a game because maybe like either like one or two people worked on that part, not the entire dev team.
Yeah.
Like the devs do not like work on the entire game at once. Specific people get specific parts.
Yep.
So you can't just blame the entire dev team.
No, you can't.
You can instead what you can do is call the dev team on the phone and ask who specifically worked on that part and work your way from there and do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't know if they'll answer you though.
Probably not.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
we know FromSoft won, and I felt bad to date this as an example. I felt bad. I saw some changes were being made to the Demon Souls multiplayer, and it was in a patch, and Cowboy was just like, "Oh my God, this is the worst fucking thing ever. Don't do this, and this makes people make bad decisions and all that crap." And I'm like, "Cowboy, I like you, but why are you tweeting this? It doesn't matter. They don't care. No one cares. You could be in their office and they would tell you to fuck off. They don't fucking like you. No one at FromSoft gives a shit about your experience as a player. They don't
You think
fucking care.
FromSoft likes their community?
You are going to experience their vision whether you like it or not. That's just how it's going to go.
Well, yeah, I think that was the most annoying thing that I've ever had a problem with FromSoft is how little they know their community.
Oh, they have no clue. They don't look anything up. They don't listen to, and that's such a huge thing. It's one of the reasons that I would say I use Total War as an example, and I'm sure there's some vets who disagree with me, but the devs are watching Reddit. They're watching Reddit. They're watching the community Steam boards. They're watching, and they give a shit what people say about the game. And if people unanimously said, this mechanic's fucking stupid, either their response is going to be, well, mod it out. We gave you the ability. We want modders to do shit. Or, hey, we'll change that. And they do. They normally fucking fix crap. It just takes time like any other development team. But to see that type of back and forth and knowing that it's never going to fucking happen for FromSoft.
Nothing will ever happen. The only time
It hurts. It sucks.
The only time I ever felt like they might have been paying attention was 2. In 2, I felt like the team, because the team would pay attention to multiplayer stuff.
Nah, they nerfed golf swings before they nerfed the Jesus water. Fuck those people.
True.
Fuck those
well,
people.
how do you explain the Havel drinker and the Katana man? And
well, they fucking. That was the one thing I know.
Because they know their shit at balancing.
Yeah, they don't care.
Oh,
and they have different. Japan in general has a different idea of what is balance and what is fun in a game. I've noticed, and I learned that the most from Dark Souls because every fucking basically Havel mom you ever saw was a Japanese player. Every fucking time. They were like, this is the most optimal shit. I'm going to use the most optimal shit. Every time I saw somebody crystallize their ice rapier, that was a name I could not read. Like that every single time. It's what that was. And then, you got the Americans who are running around butt ass naked and they're just fucking trying to backstab each other. Woo! Can't catch me, motherfucker. And that's it was a difference and it's experiencing their vision as developers. They're like, well, yes, we wanted this katana to do a lot of damage. And you say, well, it's not balanced for PvP. And they're like, yes, well,
Shut up.
we
The
wanted
katana will do a lot of damage.
we wanted the katana,
Katana
to do a lot of
will
damage.
do a lot of damage.
It will happen, and then you will have to sit and deal with that. And I know we
Why
kind of
did you get hit by it?
segue into like FromSoft bad, but didn't actually talk about. We didn't actually talk about like who we are as
No.
what we
No,
used to
fuck
be.
that. Nobody cares about that.
You can just tell from our speech we've played these games a lot.
Yeah,
We've played enough.
Too much.
In fact, the community knows we've played enough.
there's nobody from my YouTube is gonna be like, oh, Dragon played Dark Souls. Like there's nobody from there.
I've
But
never
You know,
played
I
a
just-
Souls game in my life.
Never played a Souls game in my fucking life. I just like your avatar.
Hand on heart.
I do not want those type of viewers that just like my avatar. That would be the worst thing.
That would be really bad.
I just
really
like your avatar.
What if they What if they really liked Mario's avatar there on the right?
They can definitely leave.
What about me?
I don't want to. I don't want to do that.
What about me?
No.
No.
What
Well,
you?
actually,
No.
to be fair,
Everyone likes Yoshi.
your avatar
Everybody
could
likes
be
you.
misconstrued as some guy screwing around and being like, "Look at this stupid ass mascot cartoon gator, like an actual
Yeah, yeah.
mascot."
It was Yoshi.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
you could do that with your avatar, not knowing what you are inside.
Huh?
But yeah, exactly. But the moment they see mine, they're like, "This guy,
Something wrong here.
I know this guy. This dude likes
There's
that
something-
icon. Like, that dude likes that icon a lot." Like,
You don't understand. You don't
This guy goes to some websites.
This guy goes places, and that's fine. When it comes to Mario, they probably just think he's a freak. I mean,
Yeah.
they look
Well,
at-
that's
Well,
fair.
no, he just looks like that.
or they roll their eyes
I mean,
and go, "Oh,
yeah.
great! It's that one artist dude who paid to be there. Fuck that guy."
Typical mask build. Typical cosplay build.
Typical mime.
Done with him.
Typical mime.
Done with his ass.
Have you guys ever seen a
typical
mime
clown.
in real life?
Yes.
A
he was-
mime in real life?
Yes, and he was hysterical, and I've never understood the hate that mimes get. They're really
I love
talented.
mimes.
Yeah,
I've never
It's
seen a
incredibly
mime.
hard to do a well mime.
I can't believe they get so much hate because they put so much effort into fooling around on the street, and they do it in a way that isn't, oh, hey, look, it's a statue, or hey, look, it's a guy playing on steel drums that are actually just a couple of buckets turned over. They're not. You can choose to ignore them, and they literally can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
They just
That is
keep-
a weird one. I often see mimes kind of depicted as shittier clowns in media.
which is weird because they're good at it.
Clowns aren't funny. Mimes are fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is. Mimes are people just hate them. I don't.
There's something inside of my gut that tells me I can't beat a mime, but I can beat a clown.
True.
Well, I mean, it's Mr. Mime. Have you ever seen him?
Yeah, I'll put up a barrier and I'll break my fingers on the punch.
Yeah,
Exactly.
look at how big his hands is. Can you imagine? Like, he may be skinny.
Imagine how big someone else is.
Yeah,
I'd rather not. Imagine Mr. Mime's
Yeah,
No wonder they
giant.
got rid of Ash so quick.
I bet you. Do you think Mr.
Yeah.
Mime's cock is like invisible?
I bet he could
maybe.
make it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
think
Do you
Mr.
think
Mime-
you think he decides how big his cock is? At the
Well,
time?
no. Do you think Mr. Mime can use Protect as a condom?
Probably.
Yes. Yes.
God.
Most assuredly.
What a god.
I
Well,
want to
yeah.
see. I want to see someone make a comic with that.
Do you think?
There's
do you
gonna
think-
be.
Do you think
There's
Mr.
gonna
Mime
be
is
fear.
Ash's dad?
Fear? What's this
Yes.
about fear?
There's gonna be
Well,
fear
if
when you
I
hear
saw-
when you hear the phrase "Mr. Mime."
I
You
saw-
just wanna-
If I saw Mr. Mime in real life, I might actually piss my pants.
He'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
It'd be
And he
like
also
seeing. It'd be like seeing a deformed alien Danny DeVito.
Most likely, I do feel he is Ash's dad.
There's a
Oh,
lot.
he
Of,
has to be.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of Pokemon. Like when you get down to the brass tacks of it, that are fucking terrifying. If you saw that in the woods.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But one that comes to
a lot of
mind
the
is
bug ones.
yeah, like Scyther with his blade arms. Be like, I'm out of
You're
here.
dead.
I'm done.
Dead.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
No,
Yeah,
he's gonna cut your legs off before you can move.
you're fucking dead. He can fly. Like you're fucking dead.
What's the big beetle one? The one with the pincers on his head.
On his head?
Oh, the big bad Beetleborg.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the big bad Beetleborg, the
I
brown
can't-
one.
I don't know.
Pincer?
Pincer, that's who it is. Thank you, my conscience.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
Jiminy Cricket.
Pincer would be fucking horrifying in real life. He's a big ass scary bug thing with like little snippy mouth.
Imagine running into any like water, thunder, electric type. Like you're dead. You're
dead.
instantly dead.
You're gone.
Like God forbid you run into a psychic type in the woods. You're fucked.
Imagine how scary Charizard would be, even though he's so small. He's like, that's still a big lizard.
Imagine just getting fucking hypnotized in the middle of the dark ass forest. You're fucked.
Oh yeah, dude, you're gonna get fucked by Hypno.
It's no good.
I like how we immediately jumped from like from soft bad to like so Pokemon lore.
Yeah, tell me about
these
Pokemon.
topics are very similar if you really think about it.
Yeah, if you
Yeah, it's
really
true.
think about it, it's
True.
pretty similar. It's the it's
Which,
the same. It's the same as the Dark Souls lore. A lot of it's there, but it's just missing.
Which Dark Souls PvP build do you think fucks the most?
Mine.
This is the worst.
You don't think it's
This
Would
is
you-
the
would you-
worst
you don't- you
possible
don't-
direction this could have gone.
you don't think it's Giant Dad?
This
Oh well, Giant Dad probably.
no, Giant Dad just gets looked
Well,
at.
he's
as
got a
like the-
child.
He's the guy who's trying too hard.
Well, he
and
does have
stuff.
a child.
I don't know why
He's
I'm
the-
answering
Well,
this. This is the worst
Well,
thing.
Oh, maybe
listen.
Giant Dad is like a midlife crisis in his life. That's why he's like
Is that
being
why his
Chad.
wife is so fat?
Yeah,
What if
and he
Giant
doesn't love
Dad?
his child.
What if Giant Dad didn't have a kid nor a wife, and it was just all that at the time?
That's even worse.
You know, like you
He
just
was part of
call it
all that.
Yeah, like you. Yeah, he was in that
Like
show.
the show?
Yeah, the show.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah, I definitely
I could see Giant Dad in there.
made that comparison.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about this. We need to be
So what's the next topic?
The next topic was supposed to be, I guess, where we are versus where we were. But I think everybody kind of got the gist because we just all hate Dark Souls. So we're like, where I
Yeah, a
wonder
little
what
bit.
community those guys came from. I
We
wonder.
hate it because we once loved it.
True.
No, I hate it because I want it to be better, and it has the potential to be amazing, but it just squanders it.
Yeah, yeah.
But we did at one point love it. We all did at one
Uh-huh.
point or another
Yeah,
love it.
there was the honeymoon phase.
There was. I mean,
There were,
it's-
yeah, for sure.
I liked the PvP of 1 and 2. I preferred 2, but you know, at the end of the day, there was only so much of it you could do before you just started seeing all the cracks and thinking, God, I hate this.
Yep.
You know, it's just getting worse and worse. And I wonder if there's somebody out there that likes all 3 factors of that community. I wonder if there's like one dude who's like PvP, speedrun, and lore.
Speedrunner.
I wonder if there's somebody who's like about all of that and is actually
I
like,
can
good at
think
all
of-
3.
Oh, actually, okay. Well, that's a different one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could think of people that enjoyed aspects of all 3.
Well, I
can't
enjoyed
think of
aspects
anybody
of all
that's-
3, but I wasn't good
Yeah.
at any of them.
I was good at PvP.
Hey, I was decent at PvP.
I just played the games a lot. I didn't speedrun them.
I think most PvPers of that game could they knew speedrun strats because they had to make builds really
Yes,
fucking quickly.
Because they had to
Yeah.
make builds.
Like, I knew where like every item on the ground in the game was, but doesn't mean
Did
I want
you-
any of them.
Yeah.
Did you watch when Scholar came out and I found out that I could speed run making Fister be faster?
Oh yeah. I
Because
remember
of the
that.
item
Yeah, I
placements?
remember- You know, I want to point something out real quick.
Uh-huh.
This entire time, as we've gone through Bloodborne, comparison, not one of us has talked about Sekiro. It hasn't even come to my mind that Sekiro exists.
I forgot that
I
even
don't
existed.
consider it a Souls game. The way it plays is completely different,
I would
and the game design is completely different. I don't think that that's similar.
Well, I haven't even played it.
There are still like third-person action games, but they're very different.
Yeah. I think the big thing too is there's Sekiro is kind of its own beast where it's you don't even have the option of picking who you play.
Yeah.
You
Or
are
what weapon
just
you use.
yeah, or what weapon you use.
And it was designed solely as a single-player experience, whereas Dark Souls and Bloodborne were designed with PvP in mind, but mainly just invasions.
Mhm.
Yes.
So that's why I don't really even compare them.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's move to a topic.
That's saying as someone who's played through Sekiro twice
I have not. I never
and
even
killed
touched
every
it.
boss.
Because of that
Was it
same
good?
that same Japanese thing that I just can't stand. That's that same that applies to Sekiro 100%. And why Ghost of Tsushima is great and Sekiro is bad. And that's
Is it good? Would I say Sekiro is good? At what it's trying to do with the exploration and the different gameplay style, yeah, it does that very well. Would I say that the
that's
boss design is good? Fuck no, the bosses are
Oh,
awful.
yeah.
And some of the
yeah,
PvE encounters you run into are specifically designed to piss you off. It's not
I see.
a very
Yeah.
like player friendly experience, but it's a fun game. It's pretty good. As a single player experience, it's pretty good.
yeah.
The endings, however, the way to get the endings is pants on head stupid, so that's bad.
Well, we've talked a lot about games that we've played in the past that we don't like. One of which being we do, and the rest of them being that we don't. What are we playing now? What should people be playing now? What would you recommend to
What
people?
should people be playing now?
What? Or not even that. Just what are you playing now and that you could recommend to people? What about current right
Well,
now?
I can't recommend it, but it's a good. I like playing it.
Oh, you're about to talk about Dragon
Monster Hunter
Quest.
Generations
Oh,
Ultimate.
that too. Yeah.
God, don't buy that game unless you really, really like Monster Hunter like me. You will not enjoy that game. God damn. Unless you're like a real big Monster Hunter fan.
So somebody who started at World, don't buy that.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, all right.
Hell no. Get Rise in a few months in March. Get Rise in March.
Okay.
Because it's like they're keeping a lot of the same systems.
Mhm.
Whereas Generations was developed before World came out.
Right.
So it keeps a lot of old school clunkiness.
So Kaz is playing Monster Hunter, and also you were playing that Dragon Quest game.
Dragon Quest
you're playing
11,
Dragon Quest.
Echoes of an Elusive Age, S Edition. What a good fucking JRPG. They don't make them like that anymore.
Well, they do. Didn't that just come out?
It just came out. Well, it came out, what, 2 years ago?
Oh, never mind then. See,
But
it shows you how much
Dragon Quest, being the original JRPG series, does not disappoint in that fucking game. What a good game. If you like JRPGs at all, like even a hint, I would suggest playing it.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Mario? What are you playing these days?
I've not been playing a ton of games these days, mostly because I've been spending most of my days drawing and painting minis. But
Fair.
the last thing that I did play that I was super into and was having trouble putting down was I had another playthrough of Dragon's Dogma. And I fucking love Dragon's Dogma.
Well, don't forget to mention that it doesn't specifically have to be video games. You've been playing a lot of D&D.
Oh yeah, I've been playing a lot of D&D too. That's another hobby that I have is playing D&D, and that's been very fun. I usually DM.
Yeah.
I've been playing with you, Kaz.
That's right. You're my DM, and you do.
I am your DM. It's pretty all right, It's pretty serviceable.
Yeah. Well, I like that you really know how to keep things like moving.
Oh yeah, I
like
feel like
DM.
that is
when there's a lull in the action. Mario kind of just like move things along.
Yeah,
Like, if you
I've
guys don't do
learned.
what you're supposed to, he'll just kind of move it along for you.
That's
Which I
important.
Well,
kinda
I'll have something happen
Yeah.
all the time. I there's a tactic that I really like that I learned from someone one time where he made up a phrase called orcs attack, and the reason he says that is because he he would every time there would be a lull and the players would be maybe doing like a puzzle or something and they couldn't figure out the puzzle, all of a sudden in the dungeon, he would say, "You hear murmurs behind you," and rapidly a bunch of orcs fucking run in and they attack. And he goes, "You want to keep things going. You don't want there to be a lull and to be dull moments when there starts to be a slow and the players don't know what to do. You want to hit them with something where all of a sudden, bam, something's fucking happening. What the fuck are you doing?"
Well, yeah, that's something I really liked when playing with you because it
Yeah.
felt because as situations unfolded and you described things and characters had dialogue, it really did feel like a situation was happening around me and I had to interject to get in and like
Yes.
like I had to make a decision, and I really liked that.
That's
'Cause
very
there were
important in
Yeah.
a D&D campaign.
Yeah, there were times where I was sitting there like I have to like I can't just sit here while this is happening because two other players have done like three different things, but I don't want to interrupt them.
What did you say, Dragon?
No, it's important for a D&D campaign, like to keep
Oh yeah.
you keep everything
Yeah.
going. You give some freedom to the player, but also tell them, at any moment you keep them on their toes with at any moment something will strike. That's a good thing. I don't play
Yes.
D&D anymore.
Mhm.
Um,
The last time you played, we ruined it for you.
that's true. That was pretty bad.
That's a different story.
That was pretty bad. For a lot of different reasons.
Like and subscribe to eventually hear that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was such a bad time.
I'm sorry.
Man. And that's not
If I DM'd a game for you, I would guarantee that you would probably enjoy it a lot more because
probably
I'm
would.
less jokey.
I
Yeah.
probably would. And I'm not going to say that, and maybe that would be something that this community could do more, is maybe get some people involved in that. I know it's worked out for some other
Oh, yeah.
communities because there's been this big resurgence of D&D that has
Yes,
just come out of
because
nowhere.
of COVID.
Like
Yep.
it was COVID. Well, it was happening even before COVID.
Oh, it
Well,
was
actually,
happening
before that,
It was
yeah,
happening.
way before that.
That was I remember you weren't even the first guy. I was making fun of
No.
somebody, the first guy that they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting together with my buddies to play D&D," and I'm thinking, what D&D people.
What fucking year is it?
I was like, she was like,
What
you guys,
year is this?
and I'm not the oldest man in the world, but I'm old enough to remember when D&D was like, we joked about D&D being a joke 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was where we were at, growing up, and we're like, everybody went fucking crazy over that shit, and then it just disappeared. And now it's got this huge resurgence of people who I guess maybe it's shifted a bit society where it's okay to pretend. It's okay now.
Well,
Yeah.
From what I've noticed, a big part of what led up to the D&D resurgence was like
Critical Role.
first, Critical Role played a really big part, and so did the fucking McElroy brothers with the Adventure Zone.
Oh yeah.
That shit really blew D&D up for a while, and then fucking Netflix with Stranger Things immediately opens with D&D.
Yes. Yeah.
I noticed that like over time, bigger and bigger media started like gaining popularity that had D&D in it, and it just kind of spiraled from there. So it started out as like a fringe interest that got snowballed.
The funniest thing was when I started to get into D&D, that was way before a lot of that stuff, where I just kind of suddenly had this interest, and I could never talk about it to other people because I would mention it to friends at school, and I was like, "Oh, I feel like it would be really cool to play D&D at some point." And I think this is prior to 5th edition existing. And I think I listened to some podcasts where they were playing Pathfinder and not actually D&D. No, they were playing 3rd edition or 3.5. That's what it was.
Yeah,
they were
which
playing
might as well
3.5.
be something totally different
Yep.
than what people
Oh,
do
yeah.
now.
Yeah. and that was my intro to it, and I was just really wanting to get into it, but nobody else. There was somebody that legit told me I wanted. It's somebody that I knew in high school that told me, I know this is really nerdy, but I really want to get into LARPing. And I'm like, oh really? There's something I know. This
LARPing's
is
a bit
nerdy.
different.
Yeah, that's a,
Yeah, but it was funny because I then said to them, oh, I know. Well, that's neat. I've always wanted to try out D&D, and when I told them that, they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "What the fuck?
the
How is
LARPing.
this?"
The LARPing kid thought you were lame.
Yeah, they thought I was fucking
That's
lame. for
terrible.
saying
That's awful. I'm
that.
sorry you had to go through that. I don't think D&D
That's-
is as lame as LARPing, but I do think
LARPing's 100 times worse.
I think
That's way worse.
I think D&D can be fun.
I would still LARP if I had the chance.
I think
Oh, yeah.
D&D can be fun with friends like that you actually like, cuz I know I would just
Yes.
dislike random strangers to play D&D
Oh,
with.
yeah.
That would just be the
Uh-huh.
fucking worst. And I know it's an obvious
I've
statement.
done
Like,
that.
yeah, it's fun with
Uh-huh.
friends, but that's why D&D is hard to get into, because most of the people you'll be
Mm-hmm.
playing with, you probably just met, because not many of your close friends probably play D&D.
Yep. It's something you have to
Mhm.
look for.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
what
what makes it hard.
I think that's why the big media is all bringing attention to it really makes a difference because everyone starts looking for each other
yeah.
at once.
Yes.
And they all look up to these big medias and they're like, wow, other people like this too.
I think
Other people are big fucking nerds like me too.
it's funny that you mentioned Stranger Things and how they put in D&D
Mm-hmm.
into that scenario. You know what everybody
Yeah.
forgets is the D&D game they played in ET, which was most
Oh yeah.
if you think about it, it's the most accurate representation of D&D I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Is all those kids around the table, and one of them's just like, "No, I'm not in my attack phase." "What do you mean you're not in your attack phase? I thought you had initiative." "No, I don't. I rolled for it." "Well, what? Whatever. Are we ordering that pizza?" "Yeah."
That is how every IRL D&D
Yeah.
meetup goes.
Your mom.
Every single one I've been to has been like
Yeah,
that.
he's like, your mom left you $20. Yeah, all right, get the phone. And then the little brother's like, I want to play. Well, you can't. I want to play. All right, take this character sheet, fill it out. It'll probably take him all night, so just let him do it. Like, that type of crap. And I'm not saying that was every part of that was in the movie, but it was like that. And as a side note, you can't see it. And I don't know what the purpose of this was. And it's kind of interesting that they did this because it's a Spielberg movie, and he normally doesn't do something like this. There is obviously pot being smoked in the middle of that table. There's this very, very thin line of smoke coming from the middle of that table. And I'm sure if they wanted to say, oh, yeah, the kids were burning incense because, D&D, right? They're playing D. They're in pretend land, so they're playing the thing.
Yeah,
whatever,
sure.
right?
Yeah, sure.
But it's very obvious that it's pot and that someone brought some over and then the mom ignored it and walked out the door going, here's your pizza money, right? Or whatever. And that is the most fucking Kool-Aid house I've ever seen. Everybody knows what that means, I hope. The Kool-Aid house. Everybody goes to that friend's house. Everybody's got that friend, and we always go to his house. And it was obvious that was that. And I'll give Spielberg that. He's very good at capturing the time that he's putting a movie in.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
That movie
stuff like
and
that is always very impressive.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind that's a very dated movie because of that. You start seeing the cars that are driving by and all that stuff, and it's important that people take a look at it. And the other reason I bring that up is because it means Spielberg, during the time of the demonic craze, walked into D&D games going, well, it's just a bunch of nerds having fun.
Yep.
Let's put it in the movie. This is what kids are doing right now, and I don't see a problem with showing it. And at the end of the day, that's what D&D is. Just a bunch of nerds having a good time and arguing whether or not dressing as a drow is racist.
Well, that's a different topic. There was a couple times I played D&D in high school during lunchtime with some friends. It never caught on because none of us wanted to be the DM and none of us wanted to keep track of what was happening ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It does take
Eventually it just devolved into us all playing Yu-Gi-Oh at lunch.
It does take
effort.
You know how hard Yu-Gi-Oh is to play, with the cards in your
yeah.
fucking hand? I feel like an idiot.
That's why
I
you
could
felt like
never
an
get
idiot?
into a card game.
Yeah. I'm sitting
That's
there
why you
scratching
felt-
my head, holding a Karibo. Like, this isn't actually a useful card. What the fuck is wrong with Yugi?
Why is this in the show?
This is not a useful card. Why the hell does he have this in his deck?
When do the holograms happen?
It was way
Well-
cooler when they did it.
When do I become Seto Kaiba?
when do I become rich? but
Yeah, I want to be rich.
I want to quit school and play card
I want to
games.
trap an old man in the TV and laugh at him.
yeah.
You know what's
I
kind
become
of
king of games.
you know what's kind of weird? It just kind of oh, I don't know what that was.
What's weird?
What's weird is it just dawned on me in the back of my mind that those TV shows were showing people who are professionally playing card games, right?
Yep.
People do that now
Yep.
in a way that couldn't be done when those shows came out. People play Hearthstone for millions of dollars.
And let's
People
also not
play-
forget that oftentimes, like 100% of the time, those shows do not follow their own rules.
True, they don't. But it just made me kind of laugh now that I think about there are games out there that are basically kids playing Yu-Gi-Oh, but for real, and also for real
Yeah.
fame and real money.
Just with a different skin.
Yeah, I mean they ain't playing with holograms, but they are
It's fucked
playing.
up, no?
They are playing in front of thousands of people, and they are cheering on their
Well-
favorite hero playing a card game.
You know what's also an interesting allegory?
What's that?
I would consider Pokemon and MOBA very similar in terms of PvP. Like League of Legends and a Pokemon, I think, are very similar in terms of PvP. Because the teams and the players you pick in League of Legends are just your Pokemon team, and you as the coach are the trainer. It's the same thing. You're just pitting two Pokemon teams against each other.
Are you saying that Divide plays Pokemon?
Yes.
That's intense.
I'm pretty sure Divide likes Pokemon.
That's intense. That's an intense.
Karibo is not a good card, internet person. Fuck you. What the fuck does Karibo do? Nothing. He has like 100 attack points.
I knew that
He's
was
like
gonna
my
happen.
fucking left testicle. He's hairy.
I knew he'd argue with Chad at some point in time. I knew it was going to happen.
Don't get me wrong. I keep a card of Karibo in my wallet.
There's a lot of things about that statement that probably could cover its own fucking podcast.
I'm 100% serious, by the way. I can take a picture if you want.
I do not want a picture of Karibo in your fucking pocket. I do not want
You know
that.
where you put like your driver's license or a picture of your baby? Karibo's right there. So every time I open my wallet at the cashier, they look at it, and I know they look at it.
That's intense. That's an intense thing.
It's kind of like a bait.
In case you
I
guys
want to
don't
see
know,
if you look at it.
in case you guys don't know, I think we lost Mario to
The old man.
What do you
domestic.
mean? I'm right here.
Domestic. Oh,
Hey,
there's
Mario.
there's
Oh,
Mario.
there's Mario.
Hey man, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Did you run to the bathroom or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's neat, man. I'm glad you got that going for you. That's good. So games that I'm playing lately, I've been playing
What
that.
have you been playing?
I've been playing that Jurassic Park game a lot
Jurassic
on the
Park
side.
game.
Yeah, Jurassic World Evolution, the one that's like it's a park builder with the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, that came out a while ago.
Yeah, it came out about a year and a half. And
Well, that's sooner than I thought.
when I got it on PC, it was just the most relaxing fucking thing. It's also on sale right now for another 15 minutes, and it's fucking great, and I love it. Also, I've been playing a lot of Total War. People who've been watching my streams know that. Because I can't get enough of Warhammer, like fantasy. I can't get enough of that. I know Kaz
cool.
plays it, but he doesn't like he's hard. It's hard. He doesn't like the strategy. of
It's
it.
hard.
He doesn't like that. What do you
Why
think,
can't
Mario?
Why can't I?
What do you think, Mario? You think Total War is a pretty good game?
I think it's pretty smelly.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Well, if you look at the art style, everything kind of looks like they smell.
That's
I will agree with that.
true. I mean, they got the Skaven. They can't smell good. They can't. That's terrible. They
I don't
sound.
want to imagine what a Skaven smells
I
like.
don't either. That would be
It's
some.
not. That's not kosher.
It's not kosher. You're absolutely right. That's horrific. I am laughing at the idea that someone in chat is really upset about Karibo and your fucking
I am
comment.
not reading that. He is posting word for word what the fuck Karibo does and its uses in a deck, and I'm not reading it. I refuse to look at it. I don't give a shit what it does. It doesn't matter the information you try and give me if I don't read it. If I do not take the information you are giving me, your argument doesn't matter.
Man, Yu-Gi-Oh is some intense shit. I was not
I
aware of
turned my
this.
second monitor off where he is. I don't need that negativity in my life.
I did not realize that Yu-Gi-Oh was this powerful.
Yu-Gi-Oh is a serious fucking topic, let me tell you.
I can hear that. I can hear it's got that going on.
I've spoken to Dylan at length about Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know he plays it a lot. Yeah, we'll have Dylan on here as a guest at some point when he doesn't sound like he's talking to us from a dumpster and
He has some free time.
he has some free time. He's been very busy. We'll get Dylan on here. He's always fun to talk to. Always a fun guy.
I'm not reading that shit.
We really did lose Mario on the fucking podcast.
What happened? He got fucking kidnapped.
We're getting fucking. We got family troubles over here. Someone didn't take out the garbage.
Maybe you had to go like walk the dog or something.
I'm just gonna throw this out there as a happiness. I know not many of the people who watch me enjoy it, but I live in my own house. I make my own rules, and it's kind of amazing.
But you don't wipe your own ass.
I do wipe my own ass. That's an outrageous statement, and I resent that I wouldn't wipe my own ass. I wipe my own ass every single day.
Once a day, yes.
At least once a day.
I should hope at least. Jesus.
Oh man, yeah, definitely wipe my own ass. But it's nice. It's nice to be an adult and not have.
It's hard.
What's that one Mario, or not Mario? What's that one Smash stage where the mom comes in and looks at you?
Gamer?
Yeah, the gamer stage.
Yeah. God, that used to be me growing up with my shitty fucking Game Boy.
That must be the best fucking stage in that whole game. Like creative wise, it's just
Oh, it's amazing. With the stage hazard on.
that's amazing. That's a great thing. Smash is something we could talk about. Smash.
Ooh, we got to talk about the Sephiroth in the room.
I don't want to talk about the Seth.
The katana taking up half the room.
I can't fucking believe that it finally happened.
His up smash is the entire katana upswing arc. What an amazing character.
Why? Well, I know that I had a friend playing it, and I didn't have it muted, but I looked away from the stream, and apparently they were having a bunch of Sephiroth dittos, and all I could hear was just snapping constantly. Yep. It wouldn't
It's
stop.
Such a good move.
It just.
Do you know how fast that move is?
I saw it.
That is like the fastest projectile in the game that beats every single other projectile. It's fucked up.
That's nuts. Of course, we got the Sephiroth problem. Like, of course.
He looks great, though. They did a fantastic job redesigning him for Smash.
He does look like Sephiroth, even though I never played 7.
I still think 7 has the best looking Sephiroth. The remake Sephiroth looks kind of butterfacey. I hate him. He doesn't look good. But he has the uncanny green eyes. But his face is all wrong.
Did that come out this year or last year?
7 remake?
Yeah.
This year.
This year. We could talk about that and not be too dated, right?
Yeah.
We could do that.
Talk about anything you want.
Well, no, I mean, I just feel like that's in recent memory.
Well, it's on topic with what we're talking about now. So.
That's true. I feel like we could. I played it. I went through it.
I didn't beat it.
I did.
I got halfway through.
I beat it with. Techie kind of likes to watch games more than he likes to play them. If that makes any sense.
Some games I understand.
Yeah,
some games you do not want to play.
He's a lot like that, and in this situation, he was more interested in the story and what they did in the remake than actually playing it. So he bought it and was just like, play it. And I'm like, okay, and I played it and went through it, and he knew I'd make fun of it most of the whole time because I don't care.
Did you
about
enjoy
seven.
playing it?
I enjoyed aspects. I thought most of the game was kind of too devoid of enemies.
Yes.
There was a lot of that, where there was just nothing going on. You're like, what?
That's because the start of FF7 is like that.
Yeah, and I thought it was really hard to grind shit out because stuff just wouldn't spawn.
Yep.
And one of my favorite things to do in Final Fantasy, because I'm a huge fucking nerd, is grind until I don't want to anymore. Just
Yep.
like really don't want to. Not just I had a grind or whatever. No, like if I continue doing this, I'm gonna throw this fucking CD out the window.
Yeah, I do
That's
that with Dragon Quest.
yeah, I love making a character way stronger than it needs to be for the next fight.
And just slapping the boss.
Yeah, it's hysterical. Especially in 10. That's really satisfying in 10 because they throw all those big bads at you and you just one-shot them and it's hysterical.
I've been planning to play through 9.
I never played 9.
I'm kind of interested in it. I was watching some guy play it, and I don't know. That's one of the Final Fantasy games I know negative information about.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about Final Fantasy 9. I know 8. Everyone knows 8. I know 7. Everybody knows 7.
I get it. I get 8 and 9 confused. Whenever I hear 9, I think that's the one with Squall in it.
No,
But
that's
it's not.
8.
But it's 8. Yeah, no, I know that
Mm.
now, but it takes a second for my head to go, yeah, that's the one.
Did you escape the clutches of Radical Larry, Mario?
Yeah.
God, no one's gonna laugh at that.
What
Why'd I say that? Why'd I say that?
do you feel like you
What?
want to tell us what happened, or do you feel like maybe we shouldn't?
It's fine. It's fucking No, it doesn't matter.
Did you owe someone money?
No.
No.
Radical Larry will not get my money.
No one's gonna laugh at Radical Larry. Don't repeat the joke. No one's gonna understand what that means.
I have not been consumed by Radical Larry.
I think.
Okay.
What about Rad talking Wolfhorn?
Oh,
he
well,
fucking
that's
get
a
you?
different story.
Only a specific type of people will laugh at that.
I know. Bet you thought I forgot about that one, did you?
I was hoping.
No, I think the remake was okay. I enjoyed the challenge stuff that they put into it, even though I wasn't really that challenged because they.
We're talking about the FF7 remake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I assumed. I was about to say you guys are talking about the Final Fantasy remake.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
talked about Sephiroth in Smash. I still haven't played him in Smash. I've thought
Yeah, I
about
don't
it.
know how he
I
works.
don't-
in
I haven't
But I know
seen-
he's.
I didn't
seen
even
anything of him in Smash.
I
I
know
didn't
he's
even
got
watch
some-
the character reveal Sakurai did.
I know that he's.
Oh,
got some
really?
bullshit stuff.
Yeah,
I
I've
know.
heard he's busted.
He's got some like more so than the normal. Oh, it's a new character for Smash, therefore he's
Oh,
busted.
I actually did see one fucking bullshit technique. Say you have a character who the only way to punish getting back to ledge is a 2-frame punish.
I saw that.
Sephiroth,
Oh.
his up B, his like eightfold slash or omni slash or whatever it's called,
Yeah.
hits like once a frame for like 5 frames. If you time it right, it is a guaranteed punish on that 2-frame every single fucking
I
time.
can't fucking believe
It's
that's a thing.
ridiculous.
I can't believe that. It's so bad, but also
That's amazing.
really funny. Yeah, I mean at the same time because I don't. I
Sephiroth deserves to be fucking busted. It's Sephiroth. It's like putting Sans in,
I wonder how bad that's gonna get.
which they did.
I wonder how bad that's gonna like. Are we gonna get to the? It needs to be banned from tournament territory like Hero
I
was.
don't think so. It's not Bayonetta.
Okay. But are people gonna boo people for picking that character?
No, because it's Sephiroth.
It's true. I guess people would enjoy. Though I'm not looking forward to hearing somebody just snapping constantly in those tournaments.
That's gonna suck.
That's gonna suck. I'm not gonna enjoy watching those if that's gonna happen. Because damn, if that's not constant, you know. That's
Should we
just-
even mention what's happening with Melee? I don't think it matters.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter. It just-
Yeah, nothing that they do will matter.
No. And that sucks because they just got that whole netcode reset for the online,
Yep.
and it's great. We talk about how Tekken did that too, and it's great now.
Yeah, they did.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I hope that's a trendsetter.
All the every single DLC character Tekken has brought out has been more bullshit than the last.
Mm-hmm.
Fakumran was so busted.
But it's hard to talk about characters and like a wide arc of things this is not true. This is Libra. Shadow Libra says this is not true. Well, I think at the end of the day,
Was Fakumran not as busted as Leroy?
Leroy was
Because I knew Leroy was like, why?
Leroy was the funniest thing because there was a guy who he was posted on Twitter. I can't remember his name, but he posted on Twitter and he said, "Look, everybody goes through the phase of new character busted. Everyone goes through that. So instead of saying new character busted, here's his here's his frame data." And he just showed a fucking list of the frame data.
Oh, Shadow Libra in chat is correct, actually. Armor King, Ganryu, and Negan are all DLC, and they're all meh. However, those are also the characters that I like. I like all of those characters.
Armor King was cool.
Negan's cool.
Negan
He doesn't fit, but he's
definitely
cool.
yeah.
Cool.
Negan was from left field. That was
Leroy. Like, why would you design Leroy like that? Would you think this was okay?
Yeah.
Did you think releasing him like that was okay?
That destroyed Tekken for like what 2-3 months, something like that. Like the whole
Something like that. It was
just
fucking
Leroy's,
fun.
just Leroy's all of.
I remember
time.
seeing even like the Japanese pros being like, "Oh yeah, if they don't fix this, we're all running Leroy."
Oh yeah, and then
So funny.
nobody wants that.
Yeah, they had to have known he was broken because you don't release a character like that accidentally.
Yeah, that was man, that was bad. But you know, it's one of those things that just happens in fighting games. You're going to get the broken, busted character or weapon or whatever that's going to come out, and you're all kind of waiting for it, and then you have to tell your friends, yeah, you might have won with that, but it's only because it's a new character, and you get into a fight about that, and everybody hates that character. But when it comes to Leroy, that data doesn't lie, and
Yeah,
goddamn, wow.
the first nerf patch was ready like a month before release. Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's intense.
What a month it was.
What a month. I would say topic-wise, I want to skip the whole Twitch rules thing that we were gonna.
I was kind of like,
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Not because of not wanting to talk about it. I feel like they've made their position clear on the whole 3 new bad words that we have to think about all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's stupid. I think Twitch still is run as a small company that makes dumb decisions, even though they have to deal with all these things. And I'll stand by that statement, even if whoever's listening. Sometimes they make dumb ass decisions where we're worried about, there are people being banned for saying a certain word, which, by the way, for anybody listening, it's not a word you'd expect to get banned for, but they did.
Uh-huh.
And then you get somebody else who wants to spread out their coochie hole and gets fucking 3 or 4 days banned. And you're thinking, okay, now we're dealing with this creature that just changes what it wants to do constantly and isn't consistent with its own rules. It's hard to complain about Twitch's new rules when they don't enforce the old ones. It is. It's just hard to complain because they don't fucking do it. So the next true topic would be the Shadow Masters and their unshakable desire to turn us all gay, which I feel.
Oh boy, I'm about to go on a rant.
I feel like that's the true meat of this podcast is that one.
Ooh, I've been following them for years. Here we go. I knew it all along.
But
hey, who the fuck's opening my window?
It's them. It's the Shadow Masters.
Motherfucker.
Shadow Masters.
They're coming to turn you gay. Please report to your nearest CVS for a flu shot.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh. I would say, in all seriousness, as we come to probably like the end of this podcast, if there's anything you guys want to add about any of the topics we talked about, or a new topic you wanted to just quickly cover, or whatever, now would be the time to do it as we segue towards the end of what we're doing. Is there anything on y'all's minds, things that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, there was one thing I wanted to bring up earlier. If you went to your kitchen and you saw your dad there,
I can already hear him smirking as he's asking this question. Like, I can already hear him smirking. He can't even fucking get through it.
I was trying to be so serious about it. No, I didn't have anything.
No.
Well, I super called Cyberpunk was gonna be bad.
Right? Yeah, I know, right? Like, I feel like that too.
That's the only thing I gotta say about that. I super called it like a year ago.
That was fucking great. Yeah, Techie said that to me too. We were driving home from the car yesterday. We were stuck in traffic from an accident. We just started talking about it. And he just looks over. He goes, I can't believe you said that like a year and a half ago, and you were right. And I was like, I'm telling you. And I guess that does rope in to the big worry is don't let your expectations as a consumer consume you. Just try to enjoy something for what it is. Let it be what it is, and don't expect anything more. And then maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised. I was with Sekiro. No, I wasn't. I was with Tsushima. I get those games mixed up in my head. I was with Tsushima. I was with the Jurassic Park game, Total War. What was something recent that I played that I was enjoying? Not a lot. I'll be honest with you. A lot of things have kind of crashed and burned. Death Stranding was fun. You know, you let games surprise you. Don't let yourself ruin your own good time.
Ooh. Here's a game that completely surpassed every single fucking expectation I ever had. Risk of Rain 2. Let's fucking go.
Risk of Rain 2.
The transition between 2D to 3D was beautiful.
Yeah, they nailed that. You're right.
And they're adding more. It
was really
and they're adding more content soon, so I'm gonna fucking reinstall that shit.
Yeah, right? Holy shit.
I enjoyed that too. Definitely a game with friends though. I didn't really enjoy it on my own.
I love it by myself.
I know. I liked it with people. That was more fun for me.
See, it all goes well if you pay your devs.
Yeah, isn't it weird how if you just act like a normal fucking business?
That's crazy.
Isn't it weird? Well, we're coming to the end here. Thank you guys for listening. This is just a casual thing that may be on repeat, a weekly or monthly thing that we get together and do. It might be different people. It might not. Might just be us.
It might just be
all the time.
Not even
all
Dragon.
Day, every
just
day.
be me.
It could just be Kaz on the DoDCast. That would be sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. Fuck it.
Why not?
And I'll have a conversation with me and the viewer, very personal.
Yeah, very close. You'll whisper the whole time.
You there,
too.
Viewer.
That's right.
Go on.
I want to thank Mariosack for joining us. Thank you, Mario.
Fuck you.
All right, cool. I want to thank Kaz for joining us. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Whoopi Goldberg, thank you for joining us as well. That was cool for you to be here.
Someone's a podcast starting.
That's definitely Whoopi Goldberg.
No, was there?
That's right. There's no reason to think otherwise. That's just what it was. So with that, thank you guys for joining, and I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.
Like how Whoopi Goldberg stood over our shoulders the whole time, silently.